The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. Listen here, this is a fact of life. I be rapping like Nat Turner came back to life. Grab Donald Trump by the pussy, he ain't acting right. I never run from a conflict, I be glad to fight. It's a very cold world that we live in. Somebody please tell Elizabeth you're not an Indian. You just trying to con them people to get the benefit. Just another immigrant, stealing from the Indians. That's some punk ass shit and that's too lame. Now we finna step over to Andrew Yang. And you a sucker, you can never speak for black folks. Fake ass pandemic, trying to get the black vote. The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. You know your boy be high off sativa. Kamala wasn't popping, so we said bye, Felicia. She ain't had a right policy. We ain't trying to meet her. Y'all can take Biden too. Bye, we don't need her. We don't need Roland Martin or that coon Al Sharpton. Didn't need Cory Booker from the start, man. I don't fuck with police and no snitch. You know I'm coming with the heat when I spit it. The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. If you ever go to court and this is your luck, try not to get fucked by Benjamin Crump. I know it's hard. You and all go is hard. But who the fuck is Amy Cloak? Put her picture up on the bullseye and start throwing darts. People cut our organs out our bodies, that's a stolen heart. They can't save us from the flood like Noah's Ark. Black lives always matter, we finna go for ours. So then we savages, we don't need to pot the piss. Mike Bloomberg can suck dick with that stop and frisk, bitch. You ain't speaking for us, we don't know you. Bernie Sanders, they get your funky ass on too. The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me.
I'm talking about Shawty going crazy. People going crazy in them motherfuckers. Run that shit back, man.
But it's nothing. Nothing. Got a woman on the bed. Man made the car. Carry the heavy load. Man made the electrolyte to take us out of the dark. Man made the boat for the water like the 7-no-meter. Man thinks about a little bit of baby girl and a baby boy. Make them happy because man make them dark. But after man make everything we can, do you know that man makes money? To buy from other men. This is a man's world.
family greetings. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Frontline Black News. I'm your host, Chan Truman. Carl State House District 8 candidate on the ballot for House District 8. Make sure y'all vote. Tomorrow's the last day. And unfortunately, we won't be joined with Shabaka. He's going to be on the road, so got to rest up for this road trip he got planned. And hopefully, we'll be joined with Lady J, our other host. We'll be discussing several things on this season 4, episode 32, or Trade Deuce, part 3 of the Frontline Black News. And the first thing is we lost the legend, y'all. Despite how you feel about him, or might feel about him, he was a legend nonetheless. The legendary Quincy Jones passed away yesterday at the age of 91. So we're going to definitely be going over that. Then we got, like I said, election season is tomorrow, or the election is tomorrow. We've been in election season for too long, if you ask me. Tomorrow's the selection, and the Democrats are crashing out, and I'm loving every minute of it. And they got a lot of explaining to do. But first, we got another candidate that's running for U.S. House of Representatives, Greg Marcel Dixon. He's going to lay out the plan for reparations. So it's right there in your face, no question. So no matter which one of these clowns get in, we can present them with that plan directly, and they can cut the goddamn check. Otherwise, it's going to be a long 4 years. And then we got black men must teach the Democrats to respect us by showing them on election day. So we got to show them tomorrow, black family. Oh yeah, Max 285. That episode was off the freaking chain. Oh my God. Oh yeah, you copied it directly. Good going, twin. I appreciate you. Yes, as Twin said, I am on the ballot for Colorado State House of Representatives for House District 8. Yeah, Blue was straight up the police. I don't know who sent them. It was probably Asian Clipper. For all we know, yeah, that mug was straight up Caribbean Tether. Yeah, that show was off the chain. Make sure y'all listen to the playback of the special edition of Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced we did earlier. Yeah, Shabaka did go smooth the hell off. So then we got a little Scrappy. ATL rapper Lil Scrappy says, "You ain't black if you vote Trump over Harris." So he's trying to run that sleepy Jim Crow bite and madness. You ain't black if you don't vote for me type of crap. So we're gonna go over that. We black and we didn't vote for your ass in 2020. Sleepy Chicken Gojo, Jim Crow biting. Then white media says black men already won this election. Great news, great news, great news. And Kamala Harris receives unexpected endorsement from known white supremacist neo-Nazi alt-right leader Richard Spencer. Yeah, these celebrities are truly puppets. Yes, they are. So Charlottesville alt-right member is all of a sudden switching his allegiance, and now he's down with the Democrats. I'm not buying it, but he endorsed Kamala. Then many black Americans, such as myself, have lost friends and family due to leaving the Democrat plantation. Well, exactly. There's no coon zone, like no flex zone, no coon zone. Then we got former Ohio cop Adam Coy found guilty of murder and shooting of Andre Hill. Great news, great news, great news. Now, for those who don't remember, this murder took place back in 2020 around the same time as George Floyd. Around the same time as the murder of George Floyd, but in a different state, Ohio. And finally, the former officer now, that was involved in the murder is finally being convicted of murder of another unarmed black man, mistaking the brother was a pen, cell phone for a gun, keys and cell phone for a gun. And like I said, we just had something recently happen like that here in Aurora, Colorado with Kylan Lewis. And they let that piggy off. They're not going to charge him or nothing. So the injustice is real, and all this is still happening under the Biden-Harris administration. Then we got MSNBC and CBS hosts shut down after facing election integrity facts. Ooh, yeah, we the outcasts, proud outcasts. Proud to be an outcast. Do not want to be part of none of them plantations, the Democrats or the Republicans. Then we got Colorado Libertarians sue Secretary of State Jenna Griswold over leaking of voter information, voting equipment passwords. So that's great news. It's the same one I covered last night. Said she refused to resign. Right before, or right during me passing out. But I played the video of her literally saying she was not going to step down. She was asked to resign. She said she would not. So now she's being sued. And then last and not least, we got Where Diddy, the diddler, is housed in Brooklyn, gets a surprise visit due to inhumane conditions. Now they want to fix up that raggedy jail. Okay, so those are the topics tonight, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. We're going to hop right into it. So like I said, Quincy Jones passed away. So we'll go over that. I got several clips I was going to play in regards to that. So I'm going to start with CBS Chicago. Yeah, because he was a Chicago native. Let me get that share screen up and that fair use YouTube for criticism, content, or comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research under copyright disclaimer, section 107. Yeah, he was a true icon. Yes, I agree. R.I.P. to Quincy Jones. A true icon. Yep. For several decades, like 5 decades. Okay, now I want to share that 100%. I was listening to some of his music earlier. I was like, oh shit. I didn't know he got a plethora of music that he produced, that he created. He did so many theme songs for so many shows and music soundtracks. Like you said, an icon. So here we go.
A sad morning for many music lovers. The family of Quincy Jones says the music legend has died. Jones crafted some of America's biggest pop stars to new heights. He also laid down the sound synonymous with some of Hollywood's biggest hits. His career spanned more than 7 decades, and it all started right here in Chicago when he was born on the city's South Side.
Quincy Jones, born here in 1933. And made friends wherever he went.
Friends like Oprah Winfrey have said his charm, wit, and talents are unmatched. One woman who knew him well, Chicago's own Hermine Hartman, journalist and publisher of her own mag paper, Indigo. We look forward to speaking with her this morning. There she is. First, Ms. Hartman, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I know it's a very, very difficult morning for you, and we want to offer our sincere condolences to you. It's a great loss to you and the music world, but I'd like to know, Audrina would like to know, how did you get to know Quincy Jones in the first place?
So, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
That's
okay.
okay.
I met Quincy Jones as we were producing Blacc Expo with Reverend Jesse Jackson here in Chicago in 1973. and I was I really kind of became his assistant in putting the shows together, which were absolutely magnificent. The movie Save the Children has just come out, just got on Netflix last week, and that was my last conversation with Quincy, calling him to tell him that that movie had been re-released and for him to, note it. He was magnificent. If I could just say one word to describe Quincy, I would say joy. He was joy himself. He was magnificent. He could spot talent, and I don't just mean musical talent. He could spot, oh, you could do this or you could do that, and he was encouraging. He was enthusiastic. He was inspiring in every which way that you could think of. He discovered Will Smith, actor. He discovered Oprah Winfrey, actress, made her an actress. I've been a protege. He mentored me. You can write, go write. And he was always saying, don't stop, keep doing it. A wonderful book. He did a book maybe a year or so ago on creativity using the 12 notes of music. I encourage everybody to read it, and I tell everybody, listen to his music. The best music you'll ever hear: Sinatra, Count Basie, Quincy Jones at the Sands. You don't do nothing else today. Listen to that.
I have that album, actually. And of course, he also produced Thriller.
You love it too, don't you?
I do. I mean, how can you not, for crying out loud? But, he produced Thriller, too, which was, the biggest selling album of all time. I mean, he was everywhere.
I remember when he did that, he called, he was excited to be working with Michael. And his comments was, I'm getting ready to take him to another level. He's going to sing like he doesn't know he can sing.
Wow.
And one of the interesting things about that, when he was working with Michael, he was so impressed with Michael because he said he was so disciplined, but he wouldn't let Michael go home. When they worked in the studio, he was like, I got to keep him with me so we can keep this music going. I got to get him at a certain place, and then I got to keep him there. He can't stop. And he was so enthused. He was just wonderful. He was love. Another word, just love.
Joy and love, those are such great words to be tied to an incredible legacy. Any last words as far as what he's leaving with us today?
Music. Mm-hmm. Play that music, y'all. Play that music.
Love it. Hermine Hartman, thank you so much for sharing your memories and just sharing some of that joy and love that he shared with you. We appreciate you joining the show this morning.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Legendary music producer Quincy Jones has died at the age of 91. Best known as the architect of Michael Jackson's Thriller, he recorded more than 2,900 songs in his lifetime, collaborating with Frank Sinatra, Ray Charles, and hundreds of others. Christina Fan has a look at his life and legacy.
Quincy Jones was a musical titan whose monumental career spanned more than 7 decades. He was a musician, songwriter, producer, and arranger who propelled America's biggest pop stars to new heights and amassed an extraordinary musical catalog. Born on the south side of Chicago, Jones took an early interest in music, beginning his career as a jazz trumpeter before reaching the heights of show business, becoming the first African-American vice president of Mercury Records. Hollywood came calling. And starting with the 1964 drama The Pawnbroker, Jones delivered dozens of memorable major motion picture scores. He collaborated with Ray Charles and Frank Sinatra, but was perhaps best known for teaming up with Michael Jackson on Bad, Off the Wall, and Thriller, the best-selling album of all time. We Are the World, the best-selling single of all time, followed, bringing together the great artists of a generation for famine relief in Africa. Later on in life, Jones became a humanitarian. His causes included fighting HIV and AIDS, educating children, and providing for the poor. His list of accolades also include 28 Grammy Awards, 2 honorary Academy Awards, and an Emmy. Jones had several romantic partners and fathered 7 children, including actress Rashida Jones, who directed the 2018 Netflix documentary Quincy about her father. His family wrote in a statement, "Although this is an incredible loss for our family, we celebrate the great life that he lived and know there will never be another like him." Christina Fan, CBS News, New York.
In 2016, Jones won a Tony Award for Best Revival of a Musical as producer for Color Purple. In addition to scoring more than 30 movies, Jones composed the theme songs for the television shows Sanford and Son, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and Ironside.
The death of legendary record producer Quincy Jones.
He worked with everyone from Michael Jackson to Frank Sinatra and Ray Charles. ABC's Ike Jachi looks at his remarkable legacy.
Quincy Jones was born in Chicago in 1933 and was considered to be one of the greatest minds in music and television history. He found his love for music while enrolled in high school, where he met his friend and collaborator, Ray Charles.
Ray was like, wow, he was like God to me.
In the 1950s, Jones followed his passion, working as a trumpeter and conductor for Lionel Hampton's band.
I get misty.
And would go on to work with jazz greats, including Sarah Vaughan.
Come on now, get on down the road.
In 1978, Q, as he was called by friends, produced the soundtrack for The Wiz, where he met entertainment legend Michael Jackson. Jones decided to offer him a chance to record a song he was saving for Frank Sinatra, She's Out of My Life.
She's out of my life.
Their partnership led to Jackson's blockbuster Thriller album, which sold more than 100 million records worldwide. He was also the man behind the all-star charity single, We Are the World. Jones became the most Grammy-nominated artist ever, with 79 nods and 27 wins. He also produced the film The Color Purple.
When I first met her, I said her future was so bright it hurts my eyes.
Quincy Jones will be remembered as a legendary music producer, record company executive, and humanitarian whose contributions touch nearly every sector of the entertainment industry.
Love, laugh, live, and give. That's what it's about.
Ike Jachi, ABC News, Washington, D.C.
I got one more for y'all.
You wear a lot of hats for your small business. But are you a cybersecurity expert? Without online...
In this heartfelt video, we pay tribute to the legendary Quincy Jones, who passed away at the age of 91, leaving behind an extraordinary legacy in music, entertainment, and philanthropy. We'll delve into the incredible milestones of his 70-year career. From producing timeless albums like Michael Jackson's Thriller to shaping modern pop, jazz, and film music. Discover details about his luxurious Los Angeles home, a testament to his success and the staggering net worth he accumulated throughout his life. Join us as we honor his influence, explore the impact he made on countless artists, and say a final farewell to one of music's greatest icons. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more videos celebrating the legacies of extraordinary stars. Cause of death: Quincy Jones, the iconic music producer and cultural icon, passed away peacefully in his beloved home located in the upscale Bel Air neighborhood of Los Angeles. He died on November 3, 2024, at the impressive age of 91. In his final moments, he was surrounded by family and friends who loved him dearly, reflecting the strong relationships he built throughout his remarkable life. Jonas' passing is a significant loss for the music industry and fans worldwide, as he was not only a talented artist, but also a mentor and inspiration to many. Quincy Jones' death was due to complications from pneumonia, a serious lung infection that can be particularly dangerous, especially for older individuals. Pneumonia can cause severe breathing difficulties and can be life-threatening if not treated promptly. Despite his remarkable strength and vitality throughout his life, this illness ultimately led to his passing. It's a reminder of how fragile life can be, even for someone as talented and influential as Jones. Quincy Jones' passing signifies the end of an incredible era in the music world. His contributions to the industry were immense, and he leaves behind a legacy that will be celebrated and honored for many years. Known for his innovative sound and ability to connect with audiences, Jones played a vital role in shaping the music we enjoy today. From his groundbreaking work as a producer to his collaborations with legendary artists, his influence is felt across various genres and generations. As we reflect on his life and career, it's essential to remember the vast impact he had on music and culture. If you're curious about the remarkable achievements and lasting gifts he left behind, I invite you to join me in celebrating the life and legacy of this extraordinary artist. Quincy Jones is a name that represents extraordinary talent and musical brilliance, with a career that has spanned an incredible 7 decades. He is an accomplished American conductor, record producer, trumpeter, and television producer, and his work has significantly shaped the entertainment industry. Over the years, Jones has collaborated with some of the biggest names in music and has been behind countless hit songs and albums, showcasing his incredible versatility and creativity. His journey through the world of entertainment is filled with remarkable achievements, earning him a reputation as one of the most influential figures in music history. With a net worth of around $500 million, his success reflects not only his artistic talent, but also his business acumen. From the very beginning of his career, Quincy Jones showed a remarkable talent for music that set him apart from others. Although he is well known for his incredible skills as a musician, it is his work as a producer and author that truly solidified his legacy in music history. Jones has had a profound impact on the industry, collaborating with some of the most famous and celebrated artists of our time, including Michael Jackson, Frank Sinatra, and Aretha Franklin. His ability to bring out the best in artists and create unforgettable music has earned him numerous accolades and awards throughout his career. A key moment in Quincy Jones's illustrious career was his groundbreaking collaboration with the legendary Michael Jackson. This partnership resulted in some of the best-selling albums in music history, including the iconic Off the Wall, the record-breaking Thriller, and the powerful Bad. Together, these albums have sold over 130 million copies worldwide, an astonishing feat that highlights Jones' incredible skills as a music producer. His work with Jackson not only helped elevate the king of pop to new heights of fame, but also transformed the entire music industry, setting new standards for production and artistry. But Jones' influence doesn't stop with his collaborations. His solo projects and various productions have earned him countless awards, including multiple Grammy Awards, showcasing his exceptional contributions to music over the years. He has a unique talent for spotting and nurturing emerging talent, which has made him a highly respected figure in the entertainment world. Quincy Jones's legacy is not just about his remarkable achievements. It's also about the lasting impact he has had on music and the countless artists he has inspired throughout his remarkable career. Whenever a Michael Jackson album or song produced by Quincy Jones is sold or played, Jones continues to receive royalties, which speaks volumes about the lasting popularity of their incredible collaborations. This ongoing income stream is a testament to how deeply these songs resonate with fans, showcasing the remarkable impact of Jones' work in the music industry. Beyond his significant musical accomplishments, Quincy Jones has also made notable contributions to television production, further demonstrating his versatility and creative genius. He has successfully ventured into the world of television, producing hit shows and events that have captivated audiences. By excelling in both music and television, Jones has established himself as a true powerhouse in the entertainment industry. Quincy Delight Jones Jr. was born on March 14, 1933, and his life journey is nothing short of remarkable. He grew to become one of the most influential figures in the music industry, and his story is one of resilience and determination. From a young age, Jones faced family hardships that shaped his character, but it was his deep passion for music that truly defined him. Quincy's early years were significantly influenced by his family's participation in the Great Migration, a significant movement during which many African Americans left the rural South in search of better opportunities in the urban North. When Quincy and his brother were still young, their family moved to Chicago, a city that would play a crucial role in his development as an artist. In Chicago, Jones first encountered music through the spiritual hymns sung at the local church. These soulful melodies ignited his love for music, introducing him to the beauty of rhythms and harmonies that would inspire him for years to come. A significant turning point in Quincy Jones's early musical journey occurred when he was given the chance to practice on a neighbor's piano. This opportunity was crucial for Quincy, as it allowed him to explore his passion for music and develop his skills during a time when his family faced considerable challenges. Despite the difficulties he encountered at home, including
"You don't need therapy," is what I used to tell myself all the time. Fortunately, now I realize there's absolutely no shame.
The impact of his mother's struggle with mental illness, Quincy found solace in music. His mother suffered a schizophrenic breakdown and was institutionalized, which was a traumatic experience for him as a child. After the divorce, Quincy's father remarried, bringing 3 stepchildren into the family, and later having 3 more children with his new wife. This created a large and lively household, filled with the sounds of many voices. Amidst this bustling environment, Quincy continued to nurture his musical talents, using music as an escape and a way to express himself. The challenges he faced in his early years, combined with his access to the piano, played a crucial role in shaping his future as a musician. When World War II broke out, the Jones family relocated to Washington State, where Quincy's father secured a job at a naval shipyard. After the war ended, the family settled in Seattle, a city that would significantly influence Quincy's musical growth and career. In Seattle, Quincy attended high school and fully dedicated himself to music studies, immersing himself in everything related to music. During this time, he learned to compose and sharpened his skills as a trumpet player, quickly rising to prominence within the local jazz scene. At just 14 years old, Quincy had a pivotal moment when he met the legendary Ray Charles. This encounter marked the beginning of a lasting friendship and professional relationship that would greatly impact both of their careers. Through his connection with Charles and his involvement in the vibrant Seattle music scene, Quincy gained invaluable experience that would help shape his future as a musician and producer. The opportunities he encountered in Seattle laid a solid foundation for his artistic journey, demonstrating how crucial environments and relationships can be in the development of a young artist's career. In 1951, Quincy's growing talent caught the attention of many, leading to a scholarship at Seattle University. There, he briefly studied alongside Clint Eastwood, who would later become a Hollywood legend. However, Quincy's time at Seattle University was not long, as he decided to transfer to the renowned Berklee College of Music in Boston after just 1 semester. At Berklee, Quincy fully immersed himself in the vibrant world of jazz music. He dedicated his nights to performing in local bars, where he gained invaluable stage experience and honed his craft as a musician. During the day, he focused on his studies, learning the ins and outs of music theory and composition. This combination of practical performance and academic study allowed Quincy to grow tremendously as an artist. His time at Berklee not only deepened his understanding of music, but also expanded his network in the industry, setting the stage for future collaborations and opportunities. After leaving college, Quincy Jones began an incredible journey that would lead him to become one of the most influential figures in the music industry. He made a bold move to New York City, a place known for its vibrant music scene and opportunities for aspiring artists. In New York, Quincy immersed himself in the fast-paced world of music, where he quickly made a name for himself. He worked tirelessly, exploring different musical styles and genres, which allowed him to showcase his incredible talent and creativity. His ability to connect with other artists led to partnerships that would produce timeless music and shape the sound of an entire generation. From jazz to pop, Quincy's versatility as a musician and producer opened doors to collaborations with some of the biggest names in the industry. This period of his life was not just about personal growth. It marked a significant evolution in music itself, as Quincy's innovative approaches and ideas began to redefine what was possible in the industry. Quincy Jones' incredible talent for musical arrangement quickly caught the eye of many in New York, even though he originally started his career as a trumpet player. One of the key moments early in his career came in 1956 when he played in the backing band for Elvis Presley during the King of Rock and Roll's very first television appearance. After this notable experience, Quincy had the opportunity to embark on a world tour, which allowed him to showcase his skills on a global stage. This exposure helped him gain recognition and develop his unique style further. Following the tour, Quincy made the bold decision to move to Paris, a city known for its rich artistic culture and musical diversity. In Paris, he immersed himself in different musical influences, exploring various genres and styles that broadened his artistic perspective. While in Paris, Quincy Jones took on the role of music director for Blacc, a well-known French record company. This experience was pivotal for him as it broadened his musical perspective and exposed him to a wide array of styles and sounds. Working in Europe allowed Quincy to immerse himself in the local music scene, giving him fresh insights that would influence his future projects. By 1961, Quincy's reputation in the music world had grown significantly due to his hard work and talent. This recognition led to a major career advancement when he was appointed vice president of Mercury Records, which was the parent company of Blacc and an influential name in the American music industry. This role was crucial as it highlighted Quincy's rising influence, allowing him to have a say in the direction of the music being produced. Being in an executive position meant he could not only create music, but also shape the careers of other artists and the industry as a whole. Quincy Jones's remarkable versatility became even more evident when he expanded his talents into composing music for films. His very first film score for The Pawnbroker was a significant achievement that highlighted his exceptional abilities and established him as a highly sought-after composer in Hollywood. Following this initial success, Quincy went on to work on several iconic films, including The Italian Job, The Getaway, and The Deadly Affair. His scores for these movies received widespread acclaim, further solidifying his reputation as a masterful composer capable of enhancing storytelling through music. Quincy's contributions were not limited to film. He also excelled in crafting unforgettable theme songs for popular television shows. His work on series like The Bill Cosby Show, Roots, and Mad TV demonstrated his ability to create music that resonated with audiences and became integral to the show's identities. During the 1960s, Quincy Jones formed partnerships with many legendary musicians, greatly influencing the music scene of that era. He worked with iconic artists like Peggy Lee, Shirley Horn, and the legendary Frank Sinatra, creating music that resonated with audiences and enriched the cultural landscape. His collaboration with Sinatra, in particular, was significant and continued well into the 1970s. This ongoing partnership was marked by a shared vision and mutual respect, leading to unforgettable musical performances that delighted fans. In the 1970s, Quincy took a bold step by founding his own production company, Quest Productions. This venture gave him greater creative control over his projects, enabling him to explore new artistic directions and solidify his legacy as a powerhouse in the music industry. By establishing Quest Productions, Jones was not only able to produce music that reflected his artistic vision, but also paved the way for future generations of musicians. In 1981, Quincy Jones made a significant mark in the music industry with the release of his album titled The Dude. This project was not just another album, it was a showcase of his exceptional production talents and creative vision. The Dude featured a diverse lineup of artists who performed songs that were either written or produced by Jones, highlighting his ability to work across various musical styles and genres. The album was met with both critical acclaim and commercial success, resonating with listeners around the world. The impact of the dude was evident, as it earned Jones 3 Grammy Awards, a testament to his extraordinary skills and the high quality of the music he produced. This achievement not only solidified his reputation as a top-tier producer, but also demonstrated his talent for bringing together different voices and talents to create something truly special. Quincy Jones' work on this album reflected his ability to innovate and inspire, reinforcing his status as one of the music industry's most influential figures. Quincy Jones' collaboration with Michael Jackson stands out as one of the most remarkable partnerships in music history, showcasing their immense talent and creative synergy. Their journey together kicked off with the release of the 1979 album Off the Wall, which was a groundbreaking success, selling an impressive 20 million copies. However, their partnership truly reached legendary status with the release of Jackson's 1982 album Thriller. This album shattered records, becoming the best-selling album of all time with over 60 million copies sold worldwide. Thriller is not just a musical milestone, it changed the landscape of the music industry, influencing countless artists and genres that followed. Their collaboration didn't stop there in 1987. They released the album Bad, which also performed remarkably well, selling around 45 million copies. Mansion in Bel Air, Los Angeles. In December 1986, a pivotal moment unfolded in the life of the legendary Quincy Jones as he stepped into the world of real estate investment. He set his sights on a stunning property nestled in the upscale neighborhood of Bel Air, acquiring a beautiful house for the impressive sum of $3 million, an amount that would translate to around $7 million in today's market. This remarkable residence, built in 1948, showcased a charming blend of classic elegance and modern comforts, spanning a generous 5,500 square feet across 3 stories. With 6 bedrooms and 8.5 bathrooms, the home provided ample space for both relaxation and entertainment, all while ensuring the utmost privacy with its gated and walled surroundings. As one ventured inside, the ambiance of the home came alive, particularly in the library, which proudly displayed Jonas's significant memorabilia. This room was not just a library, it was a reflection of his illustrious career, filled with artifacts and achievements that spoke to his incredible journey through the music industry. The family room, with its inviting fireplace, offered a cozy retreat, making it the perfect place for quiet evenings or gatherings with loved ones. The expansive kitchen, adorned with wood beam ceilings, seamlessly blended everyday living with entertaining, embodying the spirit of a home where culinary delights could flourish. In the master suite, luxury took center stage, presenting breathtaking views of the city below. It featured a private bathroom, a personal sanctuary that added a touch of opulence to Jonah's private space. Outside, the property boasted a refreshing swimming pool, an ideal spot for unwinding and enjoying leisurely afternoons under the sun. Yet, for Quincy Jones, this impressive residence was only the beginning of his real estate ambitions. Driven by his dreams, he embarked on an ambitious journey to construct his ultimate dream home, a sprawling estate in West Los Angeles. This meticulous project showcased his vision and tenacity as he acquired adjacent lots, laying the foundation for a breathtaking masterpiece spanning between 25,000 to 30,000 square feet. In the heart of Los Angeles, Quincy Jones envisioned a dream estate that would embody both his creative spirit and his lifestyle. Nestled on a private street, this remarkable property was designed with a perfect balance of work and leisure in mind. As one approached the estate, the gated driveway provided an immediate sense of security and exclusivity, an appropriate touch for a man of his stature and accomplishments. Upon entering, visitors were greeted by a world of possibilities. The estate boasted a state-of-the-art screening room where Jones could immerse himself in films, allowing his creativity to flow in new directions. Adjacent to this cinematic haven was a recording studio, a space where he could continue crafting the music that had defined his career, all from the comfort of his own home. These amenities were not just functional, they reflected Jonas' unwavering dedication to his artistry. The estate also featured a well-appointed office suite, designed for welcoming friends and collaborators alike. It was a hub of creativity and connection, fostering collaborations and ideas that could take flight in the music industry. For those seeking active pursuits, the property included a tennis court, a space where both competition and camaraderie could flourish. And when the day turned to dusk, the swimming pool beckoned, providing a serene spot for relaxation and gatherings under the stars. Adding to the estate's allure were the breathtaking views it offered. From the vantage points around the property, one could gaze out over the sprawling city and the vast ocean beyond, creating a picturesque backdrop for any occasion. The blend of luxury and comfort made it an ideal space for hosting events, where friends and fellow artists could come together in celebration of creativity and camaraderie. After years of painstaking construction, Jones completed this magnificent estate, a true testament to his vision and ambition. However, in 2005, he made the decision to part with the property, selling it for over $5 million. Today, the value of this exquisite home has soared, with estimates placing it between $25 million and $30 million. This significant increase reflects not only the property's prime location, but also the luxurious features that continue to attract admirers. Cars. One of Quincy Jones' most treasured possessions is the Rolls-Royce Ghost, often seen as the highlight of his impressive car collection. This luxurious sedan costs around $350,000 and is powered by a powerful 7-liter V12 engine that generates a robust 563 horsepower. For those who opt for the Blacc badge version, the power increases even more, reaching an incredible 592 horsepower. Inside the Ghost, luxury is at its peak, with every detail carefully designed using top-quality materials. The plush carpeting and smooth leather seats create a comfortable environment, while the real wood accents and metal finishes add a touch of sophistication. Additionally, the cabin features optional elements like a headliner with built-in LED lights that can mimic a beautiful starry sky, making every ride a truly magical experience. Another impressive car in Quincy Jones' collection is the Aston Martin Vantage, which has a price tag of around $190,000. This stylish sports car features a powerful twin-turbo 4-liter V8 engine that produces an incredible 656 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque. This engine, influenced by AMG design, showcases top-notch performance and engineering skills. The Vantage also offers many customization options, allowing owners to choose luxurious features like full leather seats, heated and ventilated seating, and carbon fiber details. However, the interior design can sometimes feel a bit mixed and varied, making it a unique driving experience. In Quincy Jones' impressive collection, he also has the Mercedes-Benz E350, which is worth about $75,000. This elegant sedan features a turbocharged 2.0-liter 4-cylinder engine paired with a 23-horsepower electric motor, producing a total of 255 horsepower. Inside, the E350 radiates luxury with high-quality materials like soft leather seats and shiny metallic accents. The roomy interior provides plenty of space for passengers, and its stylish design enhances the car's sophisticated look from the outside. This vehicle showcases Jones's appreciation for comfort and elegance in his automotive choices. Quincy Jones' collection of luxury cars shows his exceptional taste and love for high-quality vehicles. Each car in his collection stands for the best in luxury and performance, capturing the timeless elegance and sophistication that are key elements of his lifestyle. This impressive lineup not only highlights his status in the entertainment world, but also reflects his passion for automotive excellence. Personal life. Quincy Jones is not only famous for his incredible work in music and entertainment, but also for the rich and sometimes complicated life he has led outside of his career. Throughout his journey, he has experienced various relationships that have shaped who he is as a person. His marriages and the roles he has played as a father to his children highlight his deep commitment to family. even amid the ups and downs of life. Quincy Jones has had a rich and varied personal life, marked by 3 marriages and 7 children from 5 different women. His first marriage was to Jerry Caldwell, which lasted from 1957 to 1966. During this time, Jones was beginning to establish himself as a talented musician, and his career was taking off. With Caldwell, he welcomed a daughter named Jolie, who became a cherished part of his life. This early period in his life was a mix of professional growth and personal development, as he navigated the demands of both family and his rising fame. After his divorce from Jerry, Jones briefly dated Carol Reynolds, and this relationship led to the birth of another daughter, Rachel. In 1967, Quincy Jones entered into a marriage with Swedish actress Ulla Andersson. This partnership was significant not just personally, but also professionally, as it brought forth 2 children, Martina and Quincy Jones III. Following in his father's illustrious footsteps, Quincy III ventured into the music industry as a producer, showcasing the artistic talent that runs in the Jones family. However, after several years together, Jones and Anderson's marriage came to an end in 1974, marking another chapter in his complex personal life. Remarkably, just 1 day after finalizing his divorce from Anderson, Jones married American actress Peggy Lipton. This new marriage brought further joy and creativity into his life, and together they welcomed 2 daughters, Kidada and Rashida. Both girls have carved out their own successful paths in the entertainment industry, with Kidada making a name for herself as a model and actress, while Rashida has gained recognition as an accomplished actress and writer. Jones and Lipton's marriage lasted until 1989, during which time they navigated the highs and lows of fame and family life. After his 3rd divorce, Quincy Jones began a relationship with German actress Nastasia Kinski in 1991. Their romance blossomed, and they chose to live together for several years, enjoying the artistic atmosphere that surrounded them. During this time, the couple welcomed a daughter named Kenya. Following in her father's footsteps, Kenya has made a name for herself as a successful fashion model, showcasing the family's artistic talent and passion for the arts. Although Jones and Kinski's relationship came to an end in 1995, the connection they shared was a testament to Jones's enduring involvement in the creative community. Quincy Jones' personal life has certainly had its share of ups and downs, and one notable controversy occurred in 1994 when rapper Tupac Shakur publicly criticized Jones for his relationships with white women. Shakur's remarks sparked a significant reaction, particularly from Jones' daughter Rashida, who felt compelled to defend her father. In an open letter published in The Source, Rashida passionately addressed Shakur's comments, arguing that her father's choices were his own, and criticizing the rapper's perspective. Ironically, despite this tension, Rashida's sister, Kidada, was involved with Shakur at that time. Kidada and Tupac developed a romantic relationship that lasted for about 4 months, during which they lived together. Kidada's romance with Shakur took place just before his tragic death, which left a lasting impact on both her and the family. As we finish our look into the incredible lifestyle of Quincy Jones, it's clear that his passion for music and life is truly inspiring. His dedication, creativity, and love for what he does have a way of touching everyone around him. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Quincy's world, we would love your support for our YouTube channel. By subscribing,
All right, so there you have it. Basically, the life and times of the legendary Quincy Jones. I know we had a lot of things that people did not agree with. That does not take away from his contribution to the entertainment industry and the music industry, for that matter. Like I said, he had a career that spanned 7 decades. So he was very influential in the majority, if not all, the music that we listen to today. And he kicked in the door for a lot of black musicians during a time where black musicians weren't allowed to play in certain venues and wasn't getting the exposure that they needed. He definitely helped in getting a lot of talent exposed, and he had a good sense of talent. I mean, everybody that he discovered went platinum plus, so you can't take that away from him. But moving along, because I am definitely pressed for time and I don't want to fall asleep again on the show. We got the RP to Quincy Jones. Your contribution to the music industry will not be gone or forgotten. I mean, I was listening to his music earlier. I'm like, damn, I forgot how good the music was. It was songs I had heard, I hadn't heard since I was a kid. And I'm like, oh, that was him that did those songs. So yeah, his music will definitely live on, just like MJ's music lives on. Just like Ray Charles' music lives on, just like James Brown music lives on. It's like all of our great FBA musicians' music still lives on. So moving on, Greg Marcel Dixon, who's running for U.S. House of Representatives in the good old state, my home state, or rather my family's home state of South Carolina, for Clybourne seat, is going to give us the update on the reparations plan. We're not letting up on them tangibles.
When you look at flavored tobacco, not only do you have the product, but you also have the marketing. And so when you
that's reparations. You know, here in South Carolina was the capital of slavery at the end of chattel slavery.
What is your plan for doling out these reparations?
Well, it will not come from white people. That's a big misconception I hear, that it's punishment of white people. It's not based on race, Black people.
So, as you all have just seen, what was given was a very detailed explanation of how reparations can to free Black people here in America. And as Marcel Dixon has stated, this is not something that is based solely on race. So you can't be some kind of person, let's say you're Afro-Cuban, for example, and you come into America, you say, well, I am Black, so I should be able to get X amount of money. That would not fly because you don't have any descendants here. You don't have the ancestry that is backed up by slavery. So that would be one of those things. It's about status, who you are in that regard. But something I liked that he stated was how he had 3 issues in this whole thing. I only put a little bit of it in the video, but he had 3 issues that he was referring to, which was 1, mass immigration, abortion, and then reparations. But we're going to focus more so on the reparation aspect of it. So I like the fact that he's saying, hey, we need to compensate people, because look at what happened with the Japanese. Look at what happened with the Native Americans. Look at what happened with the Jewish community, which the Holocaust didn't even happen in America anyway. So it's like, why are they getting money? You know, so that's also another thing. So I like the fact that he's saying, like, okay, we're going to actually help out people who did not get helped. Okay. You had all these other people who got resources. You have all these other people who got assistance. But then when it comes to Black people, it's like, we don't have any money. I mean, how are we going to pay for it? Oh, you're punishing white people, which this has nothing necessarily to do with you. This has everything to do with what your ancestors did to my ancestors. So now we need to be compensated for what it is that has taken place, just like your people have been compensated for what has been taking place as well in your perspective issues as well. So he ends up bringing about the idea of bonds, and he said, okay, 2.8 million bonds, that's what's going to be happening. Okay. And you're going to get paid with the interest, and that'll adjust for inflation as well. Now, some people may say, that's too much. For every Black person, you know, that qualifies, of course. But here's the thing. People don't realize how much money was made via free labor. People don't realize how that looked. So my thing is like this. Yeah, people should be reimbursed. People should be compensated for what the ancestors had to endure. And also all the crazy legislation they had to go through as well. You had to go through Jim Crow, being considered 3/4 of a person. You're not even considered an entire person, but we all bleed red, right? Justice and liberty for everyone, right? Never forget, only when it's everyone else, but Black people, we can forget about you guys. So I like the fact that this is what he was saying and how he was going about what he was saying. I do think this is the best option in terms of the bonds aspect of it, but let me know what you all think about this story down below.
That's a good idea. I don't see why we couldn't do that with the bonds. I'm looking at doing something similar. When I win the state house seat here for the state of Colorado, these months they want to keep doing these damn studies. Y'all know what the hell y'all did. Y'all know what y'all continue to do. Cut the goddamn check. Bonds, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Because it wouldn't be no one-time thing. Like they would have to pay us like every year or every 5 years or something like that. Like they do the small hats and like they did for the Japanese and the so-called Native Americans that receive reparations. So it wouldn't be too far-fetched of an idea. And like you said, it won't come directly from white people. It will come from the government itself, because it's the government that owes. The government is the one that benefited off of this. It still continues to benefit off of this. Like the sister said, like so much wealth was generated off of the free labor of our ancestors, so they have to pay up. And they're going to come correct. Otherwise, they're not going to get our vote, period. We are so serious about our tangibles, it's not even funny. So you got candidates such as myself, Greg Marshall Dixon, and probably others that we just don't know about yet that are reparation candidates and supporting reparations to the fullest. So moving along, since the election is now today, because it's after midnight. Black men must teach the Democrats, speaking of plantations and slavery, we must teach the Democrats or the Democrats to respect us. We need to show them today, election day. So play that from Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil is going to give us the update. Put it in this queue. Oh, damn. So yeah, I got like 1,001 windows open. Please bear with me. I'm trying to find this clip for y'all. I was just watching it too. I closed it out by mistake. So I can find it in history.
Our elders had 12, 13 women. On our platform, we've said many, many times that the Democrat Party is not a place for the traditional black man, the straight-laced alpha black man. It's just not a place for us because, when we are in that party, they do everything that's against our values. our values of family creation, our values of protecting, our children, our wives, our values of building and being great providers. You understand what I'm saying? Because they want to make sure that they mess up the natural order of things when it comes to the traditional family. So a lot of men don't have a place. And that's why a lot of men are walking away from the Democrat Party. But in Newsweek, they end up putting a post in there, and I said, interesting title. But this is something we covered, and we want to go down this one more time since we on the night before the election. Now, I will say this. I know a lot of brothers, talked to a lot of them. Some of them chose the couch. A lot of them chose Trump. But, I say this. You chose Trump. You chose the couch. I'm cool with either one of them. If you chose Jill Stein, I'm cool with that. Cornel West, anybody other than the Democrats, I am great with that at this point, because the Democrats haven't done nothing for the black community and definitely for nothing for black men. But let's get into it. Democrats have no place for black men with traditional values. All right. So you talk about the public insults directed at black men not voting for Vice President Kamala Harris in the upcoming election are a helpful reminder that the only men Democrats tolerate are obedient allies. They say the party's views on social progress are shaped in large part by feminists and pride activists, which means men who have any influence on the political left must be willing to use their power and privilege on behalf of women and people in the LGBTQ coalition. They continue to say that this explains why some of the most vocal critics of black men this election cycle has been surrogates who look like us. And the last time we've seen President Barack Obama chastise the brothers and said during a campaign stop in Pittsburgh, Spike Lee approved of Obama's tough love approach. Obama don't love us. He's nothing but another descendant of colonizers himself. It said some black men have been drinking that Kool-Aid and needed to get their minds right in time for the election. Jamal Bryant, the pastor of the church Vice President Harris recently addressed, said something is wrong with brothers who don't know how to support a sister. Say the message from Democrats to black men who hold traditional views is simple: convert to our worldview or expect to be treated like a sexist bigot. And let's go on and just kind of get into that a little bit more, because that is spot on. You have to understand, black men who want to value the community by protecting the traditional family in our community, we stand in the way of complete degeneracy running rampant in our community. If they can get the black man to accept degeneracy, if they can get the black man to accept the den of iniquity, if they can get the black man to accept our women and children doing anything they want to do, and we can't say nothing about it, they know they completely destroy the black community. As long as that black man is standing there, that black man is in the gap, the black man is saying, no, we're not going down this path of unrighteousness. We're not going to lead our community to the pits of hell. They got a problem with that, because the reason why they got a problem with that is because they're not motivated by righteousness' sake. They're motivated by sin and unrighteousness. That's the only reason you got a problem with traditional black men. And think about what the brother said. They want to convert us to their worldview. And their worldview don't produce nothing for our children, nothing for our other brothers, nothing for the sisters. It don't. It just leads us to a path to destruction. Well, let's continue. Say, but as progressives continue to move left on social issues, they understandably alienating an increasing number of black men with traditional values and saying views on gender and sexuality. Some are conservative Christians who still believe marriage is defined as a lifelong union between one man and one woman. They say others may be more moderate when it comes to people living their personal lives but don't want LGBT content pushed on their children, whether in the media or in school. They say the left scolding tone will not win them over. Neither will the constant accusations of misogyny just because a black man won't wear Boule Martin's vote like a black woman shirt. That's funny. It does not make him sexist. Likewise, a black pastor who is staunchly pro-life is not anti-woman just because Democrats can point to NBA superstar Stephen Curry a self-professed Christian and Harris surrogate, and say as a public supporter of abortion. And say this is the Democrats' way. And say the party only has room in it for black men who are willing to subordinate their traditional values to the feminist and queer values of the left. And say every high-profile black man stumping, let's say, for the Democrats, and say who still has traditional values is going to have to grapple publicly, let's say, or privately with the tension between his views and his role as an ally to high-priority social justice causes. Now, let's say consider Charlemagne, and say co-host of Breakfast Clubs, who recently acknowledged the effectiveness of a Trump ad showing Kamala Harris stating her support for taxpayer-funded sex change for prisoners, to a fuse where his comments that the radio personality himself, a Harris supporter, had to issue a cease and desist order against Trump campaign after they used his comments in a subsequent ad. Yeah, he said it, and then he wants to get them to take it down, right? And you remember that. Then as they continue here to talk about Charlemagne and all of that, and more LGBT and trans and all of this stuff here, right? They talk about Tony Dungy. You know, they don't want men like him who display his Christian values. You know, basically any kind of man who's out here, ladies and gentlemen, who is standing up for what's right and what's wrong. We ain't got to go through every bit of this, but I just want to kind of show you this here. But this is the thing, the Democrat Party, they don't want you standing up for anything that's right. You understand? See, what the Democrat Party wants, they want to continue the a matriarchy in the black community. And we know that if you put all the pressure on women are going to break every time, because it's not women's job to be carrying the community. Women can assist in the community. That personally, if you look at the natural order of what God has created, man is supposed to be carrying the load. Man is supposed to be doing for the women. Man is supposed to be doing for the children. Your woman can help. Your woman can assist, but she don't supposed to be doing it all. And the reason why a lot of black women are upset, why some black women are tired, why a lot of black women are, you know, just then had enough, is because they don't realize that that's not what God called you to do. God did not call you to carry the community. God didn't call you to do any of that. God called you to just assist your man while he's doing things. You understand? And not all sisters out here say, I want to carry that load. But with this Democrat Party, especially with the black community in particular, because they're not pushing that on Latino men. They're not pushing that on Asian men, or Native American men. They're not pushing any of the East Indian men. Look, Kamala Harris's own East Indian community, they didn't shame the East Indian men saying, hey, why don't you vote for her? She's Indian like you. You don't want to see the first Indian president? How dare you don't vote for the first Indian president? What's wrong with you? Y'all just some misogynist Indian men. The Indian men were left alone in this election. Left alone. Nothing was said to East Indian men, but black American men have been dumped on this whole election by this Democrat Party. And what Barack Hussein Obama came out saying to black men, a lot of black men say, oh, hell no, because, and I'm so glad he said it, because you know what? He don't have no right talking to us.
Right.
Because he didn't do nothing for us when he was in office. That's number one.
Right.
He was so quick to say that he isn't the president of black America. He's the president of all America. He was so quick to distance himself because Barack Obama is not a foundational black American. He's not. So he can't relate to foundational black American men.
Exactly.
He's other. And we see what happens when you get these others in political office. They don't do anything. See, the Democrats, what they're going to have to come to realize, them others y'all like to prop up, it's not going to work.
Right.
We see through them others. We know how they get down. They don't really support foundational black Americans at all. They don't.
They don't.
So to get down is you're going to have to clear the board with them.
Yeah.
Those other women, they don't represent foundational black American women. And those women, they seeing the light on that too, that you're prioritizing everybody else except those women too. But anytime you want to propose something to black women is, hey, I got some good abortions for you. Go ahead and cut off the black population. You understand what I'm saying? When I heard that how many abortions happen, like how many black women are actually doing that per 1,000 births, I was shocked. Do you know it's almost half? Almost half. I couldn't believe that it was like 450 some odd abortions per 1,000 births. I'm like, I was shocked. And they say that's the highest. That's the highest. So if you care about the black community, especially as a black man, then why in the world would you vote for a woman and say, that's what all I'm going to promote is that. Not promote provision, not promote getting the interest rates down, not promoting nothing of that. You're going to promote the destruction of our community. Anybody vote for that, like I said, that's wickedness.
Right.
It's wickedness. I don't care what you say. It's wickedness. That it's just sickening me to the core of this election that I'm watching people in my community prioritize the taking the life of black children over even food on the table. I'm sorry. I can't fathom. I can't fathom that's the importance. And I'm saying this as a man. I'm saying this as a father. I'm saying this as a husband. I can't, it's like you can't get me. But the scriptures teach that in the last days, the enemy will deceive even the elect. Because you got people who actually got some college degrees and yet believe that. People that went to school to study economics actually believe that. Our elders had 12, 13 children. Everybody ate. Everybody had clothes on their back in the time that we didn't even have jobs like that. We didn't have all this access like that. And you talk about the numbers of these other groups don't do that to their children. That's why they're more in population. You know what I'm saying? So men that take issue with that, we can't be in the Democrat Party. And neither am I saying let's go march to the Republican Party either. I'm saying we should be a political independent, but let's say tomorrow's election and you say, hey, okay, well, shoot, who should I vote for? Anybody but Harris.
Right.
That's what I say. Anybody but Harris. Anybody but Harris.
Yep, that's what we say.
You want to vote for Trump? Fine. Cornel West? Fine. Jill Stein? Fine. I think Chase Oliver's on there? Fine. Robert Kennedy? Fine. Couch? Fine. Any of those choices, trust me, that's a beautiful choice. But Harris, man, just my morality can't let me vote for her. I don't want to vote for no candidate that's promoting the destruction of the black community.
Right.
Man, come on now. If you go vote for that, then you just as guilty. Because you knew what she was about before you went in that voter booth about the destruction of the black community. Then someone tried to justify and say, well, Trump is racist. You had Obama for 8 years. He didn't get rid of racism.
Nope.
You're not going to get rid of racism. It's not going to happen. So don't look at a politician to get rid of racism. Even Martin Luther King says you cannot create a law that governs the affairs of the heart. That's just that simple. So if you're thinking a politician is going to stop racism, you're silly. Obama didn't end it. Clinton didn't end it. Biden didn't end it. Because all these people use racism against us anyway, including Obama too. Because he others himself. He don't look at it like he's one of us. What I'm saying to y'all, ladies and gentlemen, is just think about that. This election is tomorrow. Think about it. Especially if you're a black man. Look at how they demonized us as black men. Ain't no way. Now, of course, we got some silly simps in our community. Trust me, we got some silly simp black men. And it's sad to see black men like that. No other race of men take that disrespect. That's the thing I don't like about our community, is that when it comes to the men of other groups, they would not take collective disrespect.
Right.
They would not have they women disrespecting them. You think white men will have white women disrespecting them the way black men are disrespected by black women and black men, the simp black men in our community? Man, hell no. Hispanic men not gonna put up with that crap. East Indian men, Arab men, Native American men, Asian men, or whatever other man you want to call, They would not put up with collective disrespect by no political party.
Right.
Those men would gather all their money up and they votes and say, "Oh, we're gonna teach you." You understand? But the problem is with black men, black American men in particular, is that you have been taught to be a doggone simp and think. And the biggest thing that the problem with black American men is that you have low self-esteem. That's why you put up with it. You put up with it because you have low self-esteem. Because your self-esteem is beaten down in this society with systemic racism. Society beats you down, and then our people, the women and the men, beat you down. They can't stand to see a confident, headstrong black man that they can't tell nothing to. They can't stand that. America can't stand that. Nobody like to see a black man like that. They can't hurt his feelings. You can't do nothing with him. They can't stand that. But that's the black men that we got to have. That's the black men that's going to save the black American community, because they are hell-bent on destroying black America. You understand?
Yeah.
And it's going to take black men who's not going to put up with that BS. That's going to say, no, you're not going to disrespect me. Oh, you think you're going to talk to me any kind of way and get my vote? Are you crazy? I got a good couch right there. Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to holler at Trump then. I'm going to holler at Jill Stein. I'm going to holler at Cornel West. I'm going to holler at Robert Kennedy. I'm going to vote for anybody but you because you were disrespectful. If black men, if you don't teach them to respect you, the disrespect is going to continue to happen every election. You should be highly offended when Tiffany Cross tell you to get in line with the women. No other men in America is told to get in line with the women. No other man, only the black man. But because a lot of you have a strong simp gene, you've been taught to simp. This is why a lot of you cash out your money so quick. Even the women, you just met them, they ask you yet tomorrow. And give me, oh, well, you know, I ain't got no gas in my car. Instead of you like, man, when you get paid? You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, he's a provider. He'll give me. No, I'm not giving you nothing. I don't know you like that. You're running my pockets. No. Well, I'm going to block him good because I don't want nobody broke. Man, you get you a broke woman, you got a problem. See, and I've even seen videos where even women say, I don't like them black men that's confident like that and got to act together because, you know, they think they too much. No, they no different than any other man in America. You got to respect those men. You may not like them, but you got to respect them.
That's right.
And that's why I want to say to the black men, if I don't say nothing else, get your self-esteem up, brother. And the best way to get your self-esteem up is get your money up. Because when men have their money up, their self-esteem come up with it. I'm telling you, when you don't have no money, your self-esteem is low. So as a man, you got to get your bag up. Stop worrying about women and get your bag up. Get your bag up, or trust me, women is going to be the last thing you're thinking about because that's going to come with it. Get your money up. Get your self-esteem up. Get away from people breaking you down, bruh. And with these political parties, they can only do that to you because you put up with it. You got vote. You got tomorrow. Go show them how you will not allow the Democrat Party to disrespect you no longer, black man. Go show them that tomorrow. Show them. Show them better than you can tell them. Show them. They sitting up here saying, "Oh, black men, they gonna really show up for Harris. We ain't worried about that." They have said it. They have said it because they know a lot of you got collective low self-esteem, and a lot of you got a strong simp gene. They know this. But there's a lot of you who don't have a simp gene. There's a lot of you who will not put up with the disrespect. So make your voice heard, whatever you want, whether it's the couch or whoever you're gonna vote for. But voting for Harris and Walls, you're voting for more disrespect. You're voting for it. Well, Phil, if she don't win, they gonna disrespect us. Good, but now they gonna respect you. They gonna get mad. Yeah, but they gonna respect you now. They gonna say, wait a minute, hold on. We can't disrespect them black men no more because they're not gonna show up for us. We gotta change our whole paradigm how we talk about black men now. You know what I'm saying? Oh, now we gotta do something now for the black community because these black men not putting up with it. So you better understand your respect is actually on that ballot too, black men. Your respect. And your respect is there. Listen, you know, as a man, your respect is everything.
Right.
If somebody can disrespect you as a man and take respect away from you, you know as a man you're nothing, because everybody gonna try you. You know that as a man, and you understand that politically too. That these people have collectively disrespected black men. Now, I didn't vote for Harris because I would not dare vote for that party disrespecting me as a black man.
Right.
And then if you let them disrespect you, that's why our children don't respect black men. Because you ain't show society to respect you. You understand? Why should black women respect black men when you haven't showed nobody that there's a consequence for disrespecting you? And so the only way some of you know how to show that is through violence. You ain't got to show violence all the time. Showing them, then that will show the women and the children where we need to respect these black men. Now I know you brothers can do it. That's why I got to give you this pep talk for election day. Go out tomorrow, election day, and collectively show the Democrats that this is the last time you're gonna disrespect black men.
That's right.
That's what you gotta show them, brothers. You gotta show them that. And you be listen. Notice how when you walked away from this Democrat Party, a lot of you have how they having to respect you now. Look, notice they having to start to respect you now. Now seal the deal on election day tomorrow. Seal that deal, brother. Seal it. If you want to vote for nobody, choose the couch. Hey, you choose and respect too. But if you want to vote and come and go out there and do it, make sure you teach them a lesson. Say, no, you would not disrespect me because you chose to come out here and be disrespectful. And we as black men can't put up with it. Listen, black men, it's on us on that.
Right.
Our collective respect is on us. Nobody gonna do it for us.
That's right.
So either you teach the Democrats and the rest of America to respect us, or they gonna keep on disrespecting us. That choice.
Yeah, that's on you. That's right, Uncle Phil. Yes, I'll send a clear message to these Democrats today now that we will no longer be tolerating this disrespect from them or their shields. Period. All right, so moving along, we got white media. Oh, sorry, Lil Scrappy over here chilling, talking about if we don't vote for Kamala, we ain't black. The hell out of here. That woman even black. So how you gonna make that comparison, Lil Scrappy? That just lets you know how dead, brain dead some of these entertainers are. So here we go.
People ask me all the time, Chris, if you could only take one supplement for the rest of your life, which one would it be? The answer is
okay. What's going on, and I can't wait to get into it, man. We shouldn't be here too long at all. I know I always say that, but there's no possible way that I can be here long on a video that's only 60 seconds. Now, if it's a little too short and things are really rocking, I got one more in the chamber for you. Okay, I got one more in the chamber just in case. But maybe Lil Scrappy just might be enough. Lil Scrappy, he just might get the job done all on his own. Because once again, at the end of the day, if you don't know, Lil Scrappy recently dropped his video. I think it was sometime last week, maybe over the weekend. And we're not black anymore. If you don't vote for Kamala Harris, Lil Scrappy is personally snatching black cards. That's what he's doing. He's doing it personally himself, particularly those of us who are going to be voting for Trump. So I guess I'm not black anymore. This is a common theme in this year's election. I remember, a lot of folks were, pump faking like they were offended when Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for him, you ain't black. But clearly, that's just the rule of law in America. You just have to vote Democrat if you're black, whoever the candidate is. You can never vote for the Republicans. You can never vote for conservative at all whatsoever. We have Lil Scrappy coming out saying that he's personally snatching up black cards himself. We have Joy Reid, who's on national television saying that people like myself are white adjacent incels. So yeah, man, that's just what it is. That's just the reality of the day. So let's get into what Lil Scrappy had to say right now. Let's hear what he's talking about.
Listen, all y'all black guys, y'all black women, all y'all
He just started it out wrong. Listen, all y'all black guys. Like, what?
See, everything else. I don't care about none of that. I ain't got time to Terry.
I should have made that the thumbnail. Oh, I might have to change the thumbnail up on you guys. I should have made this the thumbnail right here. But he started it out fugazi. He said, listen, all y'all black guys. Like, all y'all black guys? What? What does that even mean? All y'all black guys. All y'all black girls. Let me tell y'all something. I'm good, bro. I don't need you to tell me nothing. Shout out to my man Saul, who keep my family fed as he always does. He said, call this channel TD Terry Time. I got you. You already know that was going to be in the works, man, with this old long goofy channel name that I got. TD Media Group, Clip Quicks and Hits and all that. Man, out of here, man. This channel name is way too long. You know, we definitely gonna get the channel name going real soon, man. And I appreciate you coming through, showing love, feeding my family like you always do, man. Thank you, so. And thank you, Community Anthropology, coming through. He said, if I get my black card snatched, can I Terry more? You definitely can Terry more if you get your black card snatched, especially if it gets snatched by Lil Scrappy. If Lil Scrappy walk up on you like this and snatch your black card, yeah, you got all the time in the world to Terry after that. You definitely got all the time in the world to Terry after that. But let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and play this, get back into it. Let me turn this fan on, even though it's not hot, but let me turn it on anyways. And let's get back into this, man. Okay, so let's take two. All y'all black guys. Yeah, that's where we're at, okay? All y'all black guys. Let's see what we're talking about.
Listen. All y'all black guys, y'all black women, all y'all people all y'all preachers. There's so many preachers. It's like, yo, when y'all vote for Trump, and if that man win, I remember every last single person that I have come in contact with that said they vote for Trump.
He sounds serious, didn't he? He said, I remember every single one of y'all that I come across contact with that I vote for Trump. The eyes was closed. He had his hands like, I remember every single one of y'all that I done came across contact with. It's how you vote for Trump. Like, okay, you're not playing, huh? He big mad. Let's get it one more time. Look, he's upset. Look at that face. This man is big mad.
And if that man win, I remember every last single person that I have come in contact with that said they vote for Trump. And if it ain't right, cuz, I'm gonna remember you. And
that's crazy word.
So if it ain't right,
shout out to all the people that's gonna watch this and get mad on the replay. I don't know how I get down. Stop stopping the video. Stop pausing the video. Why don't you just unsubscribe if you're subscribed? Just leave. Oh man.
And right, cuz, I'm gonna remember you. And you're not gonna be black to me no more. At all. You're not gonna be black to me. Don't try to shake my hand. I'm not gonna shake your hand. I'm gonna pray for you.
That's crazy. I can't dap you up when I see you. I can't dap up a little Scrappy when I see him because I voted for Trump. He don't want to shake my hand or nothing. He said, I'm gonna pray for you. This don't look like a praying man's face. I'm sorry. This definitely don't look like a praying man's face right here. Yeah, he go. Where is it at? I lost the comment. Where's the comment at? Where's it at? I didn't see I can't find it, but somebody said he gonna debo everybody who vote for Trump. Yeah, he gonna debo anybody who voted for Trump. He gonna debo any and everybody who voted for Trump.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pray for you.
I don't believe you be praying, bro.
Don't try to shake my hand. I'm not gonna shake your hand. I'm gonna pray for you. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pray for you. And if something was to ever happen to your kids one day.
Whoa, wait a minute. That's crazy. We going too far.
Bringing the kids.
It's not that deep. It's not that deep. If something were to ever happen to your kids, hold on, wait a minute. I'm gonna have to put this on max volume right here. Listen, this is gonna be kind of loud, but you know, if you got earbuds in, do yourself a favor, take it off in 3, 2.
We ain't doing this. Interacted with him, met him. It's next question.
Normally, we ain't doing this. The next question, I got to put it down at level 50, but I had to put it at max because you what? If something were to happen to your kids,
we ain't doing this. Interacted with him, met him. It's next question.
I'm beside myself right now, man. I'm beside myself. I don't understand why this is that deep. Why something got to happen if something happened to your kids?
Right.
Why is it all that? Why are people crashing out like this for a biracial Indian woman who was raised in Canada?
Right.
I don't get it. I don't get it. The kids up for grabs now. If you vote for Harris, if you vote for Trump, I'm gonna remember you forever. Don't shake my hand because you're not black no more. And if something happened to your kids, all right, bro. Okay. I don't know what he about to say next, but you know, I don't. Let's see. Let's get into it. Let's see what he say next. If something happens to your kids, this is crazy work.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pray for you. And if something was to ever happen to your kids one day, and the police do it, and they get immunity, I'm not coming to march for you. I'm gonna pray for you and your family because you're the reason why it happened.
Oh my! Come on, bro. That fear mongering not gonna work. That's not gonna work. That's wild though. Like if something happened to your kid, why it gotta be the kid? How come it couldn't be me?
Right.
Why you gotta put it on my kids? Right. That's what makes it so wild. That's what really makes this so absurd and completely ridiculous. That he putting it on people's kids. If you're this upset at black folks voting for Trump, then why didn't you just put it on the black grown men and women that are voting for Trump? Why are you putting it on people's children and putting these kind of little vague threats over people's kids that vote for Trump, saying that if something happened to your kids by the police, I'm not going to march for you. I'm going to pray for you. I don't even believe me praying like that. So you're not going to pray for me either. But that's crazy. Putting it on people's children? Come on, bro. You doing too much over Kamala Harris. This don't even make any sense, the way these people crashing out for her.
Right.
Being forced to see ads? Getting paid to see ads? Do you know how much of the content you...
Don't try to shake my hand. I'm not going to shake your hand. I'm going to pray for you. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pray for you. And if something was to ever happen to your kids one day and the police do it and they get immunity, I'm not coming to march for you. I'm going to pray for you and your family because you're the reason why it happened. That's crazy how that shit could really like tip you over in your life for voting for somebody. So everybody go out there and vote for your person. That's all I'm saying. But you vote for the wrong person.
He must have cut it off. He probably said something crazy. You vote for the wrong person. You going what? You going what? This is nasty work, man. Putting this stuff on people's children and talking about, you know, I feel bad for your kids if something happened to them by the police and they get immunity, that I'm not going to march for them. I'm going to pray for them and it's going to be all your fault. I mean, I could easily say that same thing about Terrain Day at Agua. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, they're in Atlanta too. You know, they out there too. But I'm not going to put that on nobody's kids. I'm not going to put that out there on anybody's kids. That's some wild stuff, man. That's wild. That's wild. Yeah, I got one more for y'all right quick. I got a little bit more time to Terry. Y'all might have thought that this was over, and it could and should be over. But you know, I got a little bit more time to Terry. I do want to play this real quick because I've been sitting on this for a minute. I've been sitting on this video. Let me get a little scrappy out of here. That's enough for you, bro. Go have a seat. Have several seats. I've been sitting on this for a while. I've been wanting to watch it for a minute, but I haven't gotten around to it. Apparently, this woman is crashing out behind black folk voting for Trump too. So like this coincides with the little scrappy theme. Let's see what she's talking about right here before we head on out of here. Let me pull this up.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm starting to see a dangerous increase in black Trump supporters.
We interacted with him.
I thought these were outliers, but the way every time I turn around and there's another black influenceable black person who is in support of Donald Trump.
Influencer. The word is influencer, not a black influenceable. That's not what the word is. Come on, man. Get it right. You got to get it right.
It's like I'm surrounded. It's like I'm like, what is going on? Now, I think what happened was that I was into that Fonnie Willis stuff that Spawning Willis stuff that was going on, and I wanted to see how that played out. Now, there is a Black content creator who was explaining all of that, but I didn't want to wait. Her name is I'm Not a Lawyer. I didn't want to wait for her every day because she was covering up the
See everything else. I don't care about none of that. I ain't got time to tear it.
What is she talking about? I'm lost. I'm 100% lost. I don't know what this woman is talking about right now. Can anybody help me understand where this is going? Because I don't know what she's saying. I don't know. Let her keep speaking, I guess.
At work, and a lot of content creator who was explaining all of that, but I didn't want to wait for her name is I'm Not a Lawyer. I didn't want to wait for her every day.
He just said, is that Lizzo? I think that might be Lizzo's sister. I think this might be Lizzo's sister that's speaking right now. I think that's who this might be.
She was covering other stuff, the YSL trial and all that. So I would look up lives while I was at work, and a lot of these people, and I wanted to support Black creators. So I would look for Black people who are covering this, and so many of them are Trump supporters. There are Black Trump supporters everywhere. YouTube, TikTok, everywhere. And I'm like, wait, we were all here 4 years ago. We were all here when the insurrection happened. We were all here.
Oh my God. There was no insurrection. No insurrection ever happened. That's not a thing. That's fake. No one was ever charged with insurrection. There was no insurrection. So but she must be an MSNBC baby. She's a Joy Reid baby. That's what's going on right here. That's why she didn't drink all the DNC Kool-Aid and talking all this DNC nonsense about insurrections. And we were all here 4 years ago. But now here I am looking like Lizzo, driving in the car with my hands off the wheel, getting ready to crash, tripping and spazzing out because Black people are voting for Trump. Or at least this Black person is voting for Trump. I don't know what y'all finna do, but I'm definitely voting for Trump. I don't understand why that's such a crime. I've said this before. I'm gonna say it again, right? But I'll just give you the shortened version. The way Black folks overall vote blue, no matter who, compared to everybody else in the rest of the country, that really should be studied. Like that should be like a psychological study. Like, what's wrong with folks like her that we're looking at right now? Like, why aren't you actually able to think for yourself and you just drink the MSNBC Kool-Aid, where you're operating from this mindset that if you're Black and you don't vote Democrat, that there's something wrong with that Black person. They can't possibly have a good and or logical reason for voting for that individual. You must vote Democrat. It's rule, it's law, it's religion. Only if you're Black, it's religion and it's law. And if you don't do that, then apparently, like Lil Scrappy said, he's snatching Black cars. You're not Black no more. And you're going to have baby Lizzo over here driving a car with her hands off the wheel. Maybe she's in a Tesla. I don't know. I don't think she'd be able to fit in a Tesla either. Those Teslas can be kind of small. And, you know, she a little on the, she kind of on the, she's healthy. Okay. She's on the healthy side. So I don't know if you can be that much on the healthy side and fit in a Tesla. But maybe she is able to fit in the Tesla because like she's driving with no hands, you know. So I guess, you know, but I just don't get it. I don't get how come it's not my body, my vote. My body, my vote. Right? My body, my vote. How come I don't have the right to choose who I want to choose for who I want to be president of the United States? This is crazy. My body, my vote. My vote don't count. I'm not allowed to do what I want to do with my body and walk to that voting booth and go vote for Trump? Nah, that's y'all crazy. Y'all too crazy.
Here, when we saw that man incite violence and these white people took it upon themselves to storm the
Tania, she on the healthy side, you know, she healthy. She healthy. She on the healthy side, you know, she's, you know, big girl. She healthy. She's healthy. And I'll leave it at that. You know, I don't want to be mean. She's a healthy woman.
Capitol. We were all here when that happened. Do you think that he's going to let it go this time? Do you think he's going to be told that he can't be reelected after this presidency? Do you think he is not going to incite violence again. We were all here through that whole 4 years. How do we get to a point as Black people that we're going to be in support of a violent man who is trying his best to be a fucking
Logic,
dictator?
like
How
educated
have you
yourself,
lost
please,
your
before
mind
talk to me.
that hard?
Before talk to me,
How have you
okay?
done it?
Be logic, be like educated yourself, please, before talk to me.
Donald Trump supporters.
Before talk to me,
I know they're
okay?
out there, but it's so many now. So many people are trying to justify themselves as being Black Trump
I
supporters.
love the Black
It is
population of this
insane to
country.
me.
I've
We were
done so
all
much
here.
for the
We
Black
all saw
population of this
Trump
country.
him being a
I have
president. It's not a
been
good
the best
look at all.
president
There's nothing,
for the Black
nothing is worth
population
this seamless, nothing
since
is worth
Abraham
nothing
Lincoln.
is worth this violent man who can't take criticism. No, we can't do it again.
None of what she was saying was worth listening to. I'm like, let me just let this stuff roll over while she's talking. None of what she's talking about is worth listening to. I'd rather revisit Lil Scrappy than listen to whatever that healthy woman had to say. Okay. Now let's get into the super chats, man. Some of y'all have some stuff to say. I don't know if there was some questions. Let's see. Shout out to my man Saul who came through, feed my family. He said, "Oh yeah, we got that already." He said, "Call this chat on TD Terry Town," and I did see Saul. He spun the block. He spun the block on me. So we're gonna get back to him in a minute. We got my man Community Anthropology. I appreciate you, bro. We read that earlier. Now let's get back to Saul, who spun the block and said, not sure what's weirder, scrappy eyebrows or having a black MAGA bat and mobile and mobbing in a bucket Toyota.
All y'all black
Hold
guys.
on, let me get this out. All y'all black guys. Hold on. Let me. I just want to have him up on the screen while I'm reading this, because we deserve to look at Scrappy and his eyebrows. Once again, not sure what's weirder, Scrappy's eyebrows or having a black MAGA hat and mobbing in a bucket Toyota. I definitely say Scrappy's eyebrows are weirder than having a black MAGA hat and mobbing in a bucket Toyota. I definitely say his eyebrows are a little bit weirder than that. Are definitely a little bit weirder than that. Shout out to Tamisha. Tamisha came through and she said, "Yo, I'm proud, loud Trump supporter because of confident black men like you. Thank you kindly." Well, Tamisha, I'm sorry to tell you this, and I hope that you don't live in Atlanta, because if you do, and Lil Scrappy run into you, he's going to snatch your black card. Okay? So be on the lookout for Lil Scrappy out there. I'm glad that you're a proud, Trump supporter. I'm proud, loud too. Y'all know I'm gonna get that black hat if he wins. But fortunately for me, I don't live in Atlanta. Okay, I'm out here in LA, and I don't think Scrappy's really moving like that these days to where he's out here in LA. But if you're out there in Atlanta, be careful, because he's going to snatch your black card. All right. Shout out to my man El Pinche. I know I'm saying that all wrong. El P. Is PH is Finche? El Finche. I'm just gonna say my man LP. All right, Pinch. He said, "Sheesh, he's too serious and don't got time to tarry." Now, apparently, Scrappy has zero time to tarry. Okay, Lil Scrappy has zero time to tarry. So much so to the point that he's really putting low-key threats on our children. Man literally said, "Well, if something happened to your kids and they get taken out by the cops and they have immunity, I'm not going to march for you. I'm going to pray for you." Scrappy, we know you don't pray, bro. We know you don't pray. Okay? We know you don't pray. Oh, I see some of y'all correct. Finici? Is that what it says? Finici? El Finici? That's what it says? El Finici. All right, we'll go with El Finici. I guess that's what El Finici. I appreciate you, El Finici, and for everybody helping me read El Finici's name. All right, I appreciate y'all. Shout out to my man. Not my man. I don't know who is this. Y'all have to help me with this one too. But y'all see that I'm bald and everything. Listen, I can't read that. I can't read your name, but shout out to you. I appreciate you. Okay. He says she is hefty, not healthy. Listen, I'm just trying to be nice. Okay. I'm just trying to be nice. I don't want to really go in on her on her weight. We're just gonna stick with healthy. The young woman was healthy. Okay, and we'll just leave it at that. And I'm gonna leave this stream here. Look at me, I almost did this in 15 minutes, 22 minutes, and we out of here. This was a nice short little Terry, you know. Didn't spend too much time on it, straight to the point to some degree. You know, some people might have left because you keep pausing the video. B1 first is, he said, you can't read? No, I can't. I'm illiterate. But I know how to make YouTube videos. And with all that being said, that does it for today's stream. So I want to thank y'all for joining me today, man. Hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Share this video out on your social media platforms. And I'm not going to be back live tomorrow. I'm not going to be back live. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm not going to be back live tomorrow. I'm not going to be back live. But I will have a pre-recorded video that I'm going to have up tomorrow. I got to hit up this Cardi B. Cardi B actually responded to all the backlash for her not being able to read or not being able to read. But she got a lot of backlash from not memorizing her speech at the Kamala Harris rally, and she responded to that. But there was so much cursing in that video. I was like, yeah, I'm not going live with this. You just doing too much. You extra with it. So that's definitely going to be a pre-record. But that one is coming tomorrow. So I'll catch you guys later, man. Have a great evening and a safe one. Peace.
So this password leak raises fair questions about the competence of Secretary Griswold's team and how our elections are secured. It's also been seized on by conspiracy theorists who have pushed claims without evidence for years. The Libertarian Party of Colorado has filed a lawsuit asking for a hand count of ballots. Politics guy Marshall Zellinger was in the courtroom today where a well-known election denier claimed to be the person who found the leaked passwords.
Yeah, that was news in this lawsuit in the courtroom that we just ended for the rest for this afternoon. I don't know why I can't talk all of a sudden. We've been in this courtroom for 4 hours. Sean Smith is the guy's name who took the stand to say he was the person who found this spreadsheet on the Secretary of State's website and was notified by John Case, the attorney for Tina Peters. Follow me here. He said, Sean Smith said he had this database, didn't know that it had these hidden tabs until sometime in October, though there was this written affidavit that said he thought he had it in August. There's some confusing timelines here between what's in paper and what was here in the courtroom. We're in court because the Libertarian Party wants more than half of Colorado counties to have to hand count their ballots. There was a slight protest outside the city and county building before we came in for this afternoon court hearing. What we heard from the Secretary of State's office is that there was no security breach and that there is no proof that anything happened, even though these passwords were accessible on this hidden tab online for a few months. On the Libertarian Party side, they said just the appearance that these passwords were out there and could have led to something is reason enough to do hand counts. And then Sean Smith, the election denier, who said that he had access to this spreadsheet, is someone we heard from a couple of years ago at a rally at a church in Castle Rock. He mentioned this on the stand, that what he said about the Secretary of State that you're about to hear was simply him talking about due process.
You know, if you involved in election fraud, then you deserve to hang. Sometimes the old ways are the best ways. I was accused of endorsing violence. I'm not endorsing violence. I'm saying when you put your hand on a hot stove, you get burned.
While on the stand in this courtroom here, he mentioned that he has not really said that the Secretary of State should be hanged for election fraud. Again, that he's just talking about due process. Kyle, this just ended about 5:52 or so. The judge is going to take what she heard in person, take these filings, and then come up with a ruling, we assume sometime tomorrow, to decide if 34 counties that had active passwords to their voting machines, if these 34 county clerks would need to actually count their ballots by hand to appease the arguments made by the Libertarian Party.
Did you hear anything in court from the judge that indicated whether the judge was predisposed to issue such a sweeping ruling that would, it would upend Colorado's elections? I mean, we'd probably wait weeks.
I mean, just at the end, when she was kind of giving a summary and talking about the late hour of this, that might lead to believe that that's not going to be the case about hand counting. Plus, the Secretary of State's office has argued that you can always, as we heard from the governor, if someone wants a recount or there's a system in place at the end of an election where you run some ballots through to make sure that the ballots match the computer, that's the process that's in place to actually do essentially what the Libertarian Party is asking.
All right, Marshall Zellinger, thank you.
Family and fellow soldiers, I'm the professor, and this is the moment of truth. You know, there are people who are terrified of what the future might bring, and there are others who try to understand it. And that's what the Blacc media attempts to do for you. When it comes to political elections, they do matter because these are the people who form policy. But as far as when it comes to presidential elections goes, there are some people who like living in fear, and the white media loves to play to that. They love to set up a horse race, even if they can tell that there's already a leader. The entire point of an election, though, is not to have a particular candidate win. The point is to make sure that you win. And this is what we've been trying to effect at the Blacc grassroots. The Blacc vote is moving towards a major political realignment. It's not the first time, by the way. This has happened twice in the last 150 years. We were overdue for a third, especially with the current political climate that we've been suffering for the last 3 generations. Now, this new political realignment that's forming is going to take 2 distinct steps. First, a critical mass of Black people are going to break the bad habit of voting for nothing, i.e. voting for the Democrats, or Republicans for that matter. Secondly, a politically motivated people are not simply going to be sitting at home forever. Abstaining from voting is actually an intermediate move between having made the wrong choice for so long and finally trying to make some good choices. People who are politically astute are going to use their self-interest in order to demand that they exercise influence over the policy. This is going to take the form of either figures from the currently existing political parties realizing the new reality and coming to terms with it, or it ends with us finding and fielding our own candidates. By the way, for that last one, that's an inevitability. We would have to do that no matter what occurs. Time and time again, these politicians are constantly hitting the reset button whenever they're trying to give themselves a political restart or trying to give themselves a fresh start to their old dingy campaigns. They try to hit the reset button, try to do something that gives them a clean slate. Well, that's what we're trying to do. And never before in the history of elections has any group of people been in such dire need of a fresh start. So what's the loyal opposition up to? Well, what we're seeing is the white left attempting to do a political realignment of their own. For them, this is about making open, blatant abuse of Black voters the norm. When Obama was president, it was just him finger-wagging and lecturing us. Then in 2020, you had Jim Clyburn, America's favorite sharecropper, join in the abuse. And now it's Democrats, surrogates, flunkies, and shills across the spectrum who are doing it. This is a full court press. They're not just depending on one person to do it. Now they're all wanting to gang up on us. The Democrats are fond of saying that the Republicans are running not against the Democrats, but against democracy. Well, Democrats aren't running for democracy either because they take money from the same corporate interests as the GOP. The white media is flooding the zone with headlines saying that Kamala Harris has all but won the election, that it's going to be close, but that she's got it. However, in the event that this shapes up like 2016 and the orange man pulls off yet another upset win, then you can bet that there will be a foot race among disaffected Democrat constituents to see which one can claim credit for it. We should be fighting to make sure that that's us. Now, the Muslims, I can bet you, are going to be the very first ones clout chasing on this front. They'll be trying to say that they determined the winner of the election in Michigan, but they're wrong on both counts. First of all, you need more than just the state of Michigan to win a presidential election. And secondly, it's Detroit that decides the winner in Michigan anyway, not Dearborn. Those are facts. Accept it. But that's not going to stop the Muslim vote from trying to falsely claim credit for a Kamala defeat. The same way back in 2020, you had Andrew Yang falsely claiming that it was Asian voters who gave Democrats control of the Senate with the Georgia senatorial elections, even though Asians, like the Hispanics, have been continuing to break for Republicans, and there's not enough of them to make a substantive difference in Georgia anyway. But this is what you can expect to happen in the event that Kamala Harris loses. You expect to see a whole lot of folks trying to say, oh, that was us, and expect to see a whole bunch of phony headlines talking about the rising cloud of Muslim voters, the rising cloud of the Asian vote, et cetera, et cetera. Why? Because saying that the black vote did it, well, in that case, then you're going to have black voters who are basically flexing their muscles. And with this new awakening that the black media has brought about, that is not something the white media wants to acknowledge or encourage. Remember, they tried ignoring black men for the last 6 to 7 years. Black men have been drifting away from the Democratic Party and making it very clear. These guys aren't offering us anything, so what the hell do we look like offering them our votes? The white media tried to see if they could ignore us. That's what they tried to do. And expect to see the white media try to push that particular narrative that, oh, it wasn't the black vote, it was everybody else. Because as I said in last night's Sunday address, nothing that happens in the Middle East is going to affect white supremacy over here. And it's here that counts. This is about a desperate attempt to prop up the status quo narrative, to see if flooding the zone with a bunch of stories that are ignoring us will hopefully make us lose morale and make us lose interest. This is the reason why I tell you that we don't spend our time trying to figure out whether or not the white media is paying attention to us. They already hear us and they fear us. We need to be staying on our square and making sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do. Whether the white media acknowledges it or not, sure, this is confirmation of what we've been saying, that they've known what we've been doing all along, and they've been desperately trying to ignore us out of existence. The white media's usual conjuring magic. They just pretend to themselves that if they pretend you don't exist, then you don't. You'll disappear in due time, except we didn't. See, we were able to change the political discourse not by chasing the Democrats or looking to be liked. As I've always told you, if you want to be liked, then just say yes to everybody. Go ahead and be their doormat. They'll pretend to like you. But if you want to be respected, then you better start learning to say no. These politicians and political talk shows are talking about what the men are doing because we're not going along with the script. But the part that they don't mention is that there's more and more black women who have gotten on board with this. There's a double-headed dragon that's taking aim at these anti-black forces. They spent years ignoring what black men were doing and pretending to praise black women in the hopes that this would galvanize black female voters. But instead what's happened is their refusal to produce anything for black voters at all has made it where even black women are starting to drift away as well. This is a reality that they can't afford to admit to. But by the same token, as the numbers of disaffected black voters continues to rise, even with black women, they're going to have to admit to that reality. In fact, they've already started trying to whisper and tiptoe toward and say, well, this is kind of more of a general gender divide. Nah, not exactly. Well, there could be some age-related aspects here. Some of the younger generations, hell, even Roly-Poly Martin has to fess up to that one. The white media is stuck on the horns of a dilemma, but it's horns that we gored them on. They tried to ignore us, and that didn't work. They tried to trivialize us. That didn't work. They've been aggressively trying to mischaracterize our position for at least the last 4 years, and now they're doing blatant, open shaming tactics. And that's not going to work either. They've had no choice but to finally admit to the reality because we refuse to budge from our position. I've been telling you that they don't care about black women and never did. Their flimsy attempts to try to drive a gender wedge hasn't worked. The only reason that these Democrat shills were pretending to praise black women was because they thought that they could use empty praise and a pat on the head to manipulate black women into making sure that black men get back on the treadmill. That was the idea. It was a political bank shot. If black men are not going to be fooled back into a process that offers us nothing, then go ahead and heap some extra praise on black women and see if you can sucker them into doing the white media's dirty work for them. But it didn't work. Magic Johnson came right out and admitted it. Michelle Obama was explicitly clear when she was saying that women, as she's talking about black women, need to nag every black man in their lives. And notice what she said. Michelle didn't say, talk to your husband or boyfriend. She said, talk to the men in your life. That means all of them. That means boyfriends, sons, fathers, husbands, uncles, nephews, the dude up the block, whatever men you work at the job, at the church, wherever. Now, the fact that the Democrats felt the need to be that specific that black women need to start nagging men, and they didn't even bother to make a similar appeal to men. They didn't say, well, you know what, any of you men out there who actually understand how important abortion is, that abortion is all that matters, if you got some woman out there who's not so sure, you need to talk to her. They didn't do that. That tells you everything you need to know about just how much things have changed. This was not trying to praise black women. This was a last-ditch, half-baked attempt at trying to prop up the sister girl routine. But it ain't working. Black women are not stupid. They're not falling for it. We are not investing in whomever wins the election. That's why you don't see me sitting here trying to play Nostradamus and tell you who it is who's going to win. We've got our own agenda. We're not looking for a leader, and that includes a political one. We've already got a leader of our own, the code. And we don't allow any election to supersede or influence that. The next step that needs to occur is for the black grassroots, those who identify as FBA in specific, or even as black first in general, to begin the process of moving into the political arena. It doesn't have to be a run for Congress or the Senate, obviously, but we already know that we can't trust anyone but each other. So at some point, we're going to have to begin getting our hands on the levers of policy. Since we can't find any politicians who are willing to openly and aggressively demand reparations, we're going to create politicians who will. That means we choose people from our own ranks, people that we know that we can trust. The entire reason that you got so many people out there who are chewing their fingernails and sweating bullets about the outcome of this election is because they didn't choose either one of the candidates. So they're just blindly hoping that one of them will do something for them. But you know, that's very different than what the rich do. Whether it be the Elon Musks, the Blackstones, the George Soroses, etc., they're not sweating the outcome of this election at all, because they know that politics is the continuation of warfare by alternative means. And since politics is war, how do you guarantee that you win a war? By funding both sides. This is what the rich do. Now, in our current condition, we're not in their position, but we do have something they don't have, and that's superior numbers. It doesn't matter how many billions Elon Musk has, it doesn't matter how much money George Soros has. At the end of the day, each one of those white men only constitutes one vote. Our organized numbers are far more important. It reminds me of something H. Rap Brown said over 50 years ago. He said the enemy, talking about these white supremacists, do not have black people so much outgunned as they've got us out-organized. That's the next hurdle that needs to be vaulted. So that's what we're going to do. The task before us now is to set in motion a new political dynamic, one whose entire purpose is to produce justice. And what does justice mean? Well, in political terms, it means that no matter who loses the election, we make sure that we win. Good day, and be one. I'd like to take a moment to mention some of our contributors. DPB79, Antonio Daniels, Amir Miller, Miss Debbie, and G. Mars. Salute to them, and thank you to everyone for listening, liking, and sharing this message. Black empowerment only exists because of you.
What's good, everybody? It's your brother, Mad Blacc, the most dangerous and the most toxic black man on the internet. And I am black up in your face again with some more pro-black commentary. So just let me.
Okay. So yeah, we're gonna win, y'all. The No Black Media is gonna win. We got this. Black man, we're gonna win. We gotta send a clear message to these Democrats. They cannot continue to take our votes for granted. Them days are over. We're gonna set that precedent today. Damn, but I do it again, y'all. I think I passed out again. Jesus. It's hard getting all this content. Freezing down. Democratic shields is crashing out. Left and right. Oh my god. Okay. So, Kamala Harris done got a goddamn endorsement from Richard Spencer. Oh my god. I don't know if I want to play this one real quick. I'm going to play this one next one. From Chris Crazy House, Mad Black TV. Shout out to him.
So that just in case you hear any birds chirping, I am recording this outside, so there's some birds around and the wind is blowing. It's just a beautiful fall day today. So I'm trying to enjoy the weather a little bit while I'm working as well. And I'm going to try my best to get this video up the night before the election, because we got the grand old 2024 election coming up. And I got to say, this year more than ever is just like that classic poster from Aliens versus Predator, where they said, no matter who wins, you lose. That's exactly what I feel like when it comes to this election. I mean, you got Trump versus Kamala Harris. So on one side, you got the lace front wearing Tangerine. And on the other side, you got the cackling Curry Queen, right? It's like, who do you want to vote for? Which pile of crap do you want sitting on top of you for the next 4 years? That's basically what it is, right? You know, do you want a soggy poop sandwich, or do you want one that is hard and crusty poop sandwich? How you want your poop sandwich this next 4 years, right? And, you know, I can't act like I'm even excited. I will be happy when it's over. I've made that known already on this channel. I'll be very happy when this election is finally over and, you know, people stop acting so goddamn insane. Because it's always interesting to me that every time an election comes up, that you'll have people who have been friends for years, or people who are family members, and you guys will love each other for 4 years straight. But as soon as an election comes up and you have a disagreement about who should be the next president, you'll be fighting and arguing and, you know, cussing at each other and not talking to each other. It's like you're falling out with your friends and your family over some people who don't give a shit about you.
Right, that part.
So people who don't give a damn about what happens to you tomorrow. They just want your vote, right? And after that, you can go jump off a bridge somewhere for all they care, as long as they got your vote. Matter of fact, you can go cast your vote that day, that morning. Go cast your vote. Then in the afternoon, blow your brains out, and they won't give a good goddamn, right? They won't piss on you if you're on fire. But you're getting all twisted up and arguing and fighting and fussing and getting depressed and getting angry with yourself or your family members, and it's just ridiculous, right? This is one of the reasons I really don't even talk with my own family about politics at all, right? I'll talk to like my wife about it maybe, and maybe once in a while I'll talk with my dad because he's a little bit more reasonable than most. But everybody else is kind of like, you know, the only person I was ever able to talk politics with was my grandfather, because he had a better understanding of it, being that he was a military man.
Same here.
Right? So he was always extremely straightforward with how he saw politics, right? He didn't trust anybody, and he understood that no matter who's in the White House, they can always throw some bricks on top of your head or just throw you off into combat somewhere, and it doesn't matter. He was in the military under Democrats and Republicans, right? and neither one gave a damn. Right. So he understands. And plus, once again, my grandfather was of that age where he was raised in the Jim Crow segregated South in Alabama. So he really knows. He really understands, or I should say understood, white supremacy. He's gone now, but God rest his soul. And I'm glad I had him with me to sort of teach me what the reality of all this was, right? And I remember, like, even when I was like in my early 20s, late teens, early 20s, where George Bush Jr. was the president, my grandfather and I would have like these long conversations where we would just kind of talk and joke back and forth and tell jokes about politicians and whatnot. And that was fun for me, because I've been around my grandfather since I was a child. Like, my earliest memories of him are of him and my grandmother. But, you know, when I got older, being able to sit and talk with him and him actually feel cool with using bad language around me now that I was an adult, I took joy in that, you know, because he obviously he didn't cuss in front of us when we were little, but once I became an adult, he thought it was all to the good, and he would let it fly, and we were just sitting there chatting. I'd be sitting there laughing and going back and forth and talking about politicians and stuff like that. So I do miss that. I miss that a lot.
Me too.
I kind of wish he was here now to see some of the mess that's going on with Trump and Kamala Harris, because that's exactly what it is. It's a mess.
Yeah.
And anyone who is trying to still smile and pretend that this is a legitimate election or this is like a legitimate political system, I feel bad for you.
Right.
Okay. You know, I drew these two pictures here showcasing Donald Trump and Kamala Harris as zombies, as kind of like my tribute to Halloween, but also my feelings about this election. But the truth of the matter is, the zombies come in the form of the people who are voting for these two fools here.
Right.
Right? If you are someone who takes these two seriously and would vote for them, you are the zombie yourself. You are the living dead. You just have given up on life and have given up on a future, and you turned your brain off and go to the voting polls and support these two megalomaniacs here, right? And you know, I just don't see where either side is going to be good at the end of the day, right? And it's been so ridiculous with this election cycle, where they've tried so hard to get our vote with celebrities on both sides. Like, everyone has been criticizing the Democrats, and rightfully so, because Kamala Harris has done some of the most ridiculous campaign speeches and campaign rallies with these celebrities. The latest one was Cardi B. The Democrats literally had a whole rapper like Cardi B up there. They got this chicken head on stage, and she's sitting up there struggling to read and can't find her words, and you know, they had to pass her phone so she could read it off her phone. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. And they're playing her songs where they gotta bleep out the bad words and stuff like that, you know. And you know, Kamala Harris kicked off her campaign with Meg Thee Stallion out there twerking in a blue suit.
Yeah.
So it's like that's what they think of the American voting population, that we're easily swayed with some WAP, basically.
Yeah.
You know, that because you know, Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion made that song called WAP, Wet Ass Pussy, right? So that's how they think of the American electorate. Now, on the other side, you got Donald Trump bringing out all the celebrities from the 80s.
Yeah.
He's got Hulk Hogan out there, you know, Ricky Schroeder. He had that little punk ass racist comedian up there doing jokes and whatnot, doing little racist jokes. I'm surprised they didn't bring Don Rickles back from the dead to do some racist jokes, right? Or Joan Rivers. You know, surprised they didn't try to resuscitate their old dead asses and do some racist jokes for the RNC.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, you have Donald Trump trying to bring up that nostalgia with the 80s. Like I said, it was hilarious seeing Hulk Hogan up there.
Yeah.
What you gonna do, brother, when Cracker Mania runs wild on you? You know, that's what I was thinking. He didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking. That's how I translated what he was saying, right? Because we all know Hulk Hogan is a vehement racist. He's a hardcore racist. He's been caught out there several times, right? And I don't care what all those other black wrestlers out there who kiss his ass and coon for him. I don't give a goddamn. Okay, Hulk Hogan is a racist old devil, no different than some of the other ones that exist out there. All right, he just has a tan and he has some extensions hanging out of his handkerchief on his head, right? I mean, him and Donald Trump will go together real great, right? They both got those nasty tans, and they both got the hair pieces. So I mean, they're perfect together. And Donald Trump really came to prominence in the 80s the same way as Hulk Hogan. So I mean, that's two sides of the same coin, basically. And truth be told, Donald Trump is a celebrity in and of himself, right? I mean, you talk about the Democrats bringing up all these celebrities, but on the Republican side, you literally have a celebrity running for president. And in fact, that is
That's what she did.
his entire cult of personality comes from the fact that he's a celebrity, right? It has really nothing to do with his policies or what he might do better for the country or what have you. It all has to do with the fact that people just worship him because of the cult of personality. They see him and they, project whatever their feelings are upon him because of his celebrity status. That's basically all that is. Like that great song by In Living Color, Cult of Personality, where he says, I exploit you, still you love me. I'll tell you 1 and 1 makes 3. Right? That's exactly what it is with Donald Trump. And in that regard, he is very dangerous, but I mean, no more dangerous than any other politician. And to be totally honest, I feel that Donald Trump is probably going to win because the Democrats really dropped the ball during this election. They tried their damnedest with propaganda and shaming tactics.
Yeah.
And, their last ditch effort is we're trying to protect women. We're trying to protect women's rights, right? You got to go out there and vote for the women, which is nonsense because the Democratic Party and liberals don't give a good goddamn about women, certainly not about black women. Right. I saw that Professor Black Truth talked about this on his YouTube channel, how so many black women are dying every year in the hospital. You got these black women who are going there for treatment or going there to give birth, and either the black woman is dying or their child is dying, and no one's saying anything about that. No one's trying to help these women. There's so many women that go in there and come out with a negative outcome or just don't come out at all, and no one gives a damn about them. So how are you protecting black women? How are you, trying to protect that person's life when they're dying in the hospital and having these overly negative outcomes way past their white peers? You see what I'm saying? That seems systematic to me.
Oh, it is.
But you got these people, like I said, they're filling people's heads and using that. I guess they want to control women's bodies as a scare tactic. The truth of the matter is, and I'm not going to do a whole video on this because that video really, to do it properly, would take a long time. And the reason I'm saying that is because the whole argument with abortion and women's reproductive rights, that's a long conversation. It's not a soundbite, right? And I think politicians on both sides have done a complete disservice to that argument because it really, the government shouldn't even be involved in it. It's something that should be between, a woman and her doctor, based on her health and her issues, right? Because what we have now is two extremes. So when abortion was legal, you had the extreme of chicken heads and whoever going to just go ahead and kill their baby just because, right? Because they want to go on a vacation to Jamaica or Dubai, right? And a baby would get in the way of that. So you have one extreme of that. And now on the other side of things, now that they've tried to outlaw abortion at the federal level, now you got women who have miscarriages or who have stillbirth, something that's a natural occurrence, being accused of crimes and whatnot, or having to check in and be interviewed by police and all this other nonsense. So like I said, it's two extremes for a situation that is not as simple or as cut and dry or as black and white as people make it seem all the time, right? So in my opinion, this is something that these politicians and definitely these celebrities should stay out of. I thought it was real sickening the other day where they had Beyonce and Kelly Rowland marching out there with Kamala Harris talking about we gotta protect women and women's rights and women's right to have an abortion. So you literally have two women who are married with children who have traditional families coming out here and telling women that they need to abort and kill their children. You see how fucked up that is? So, excuse my language, but that's messed up. You got someone who lives a completely different opposite life who's living that traditional lifestyle, but they're telling you to do something else. That's like these coonish, buffoonish rappers out there who basically live in the suburbs, have a nice family, have a wife and children, who are getting on record and telling your kids to shoot each other.
Yeah.
That's how that is to me, right? So, I mean, you folks will let me know how you feel about this upcoming election. Let me know where you see things going. Who you think is going to win in this election? In my opinion, I think Trump is going to win, and probably not by a thin margin either. He's probably going to win by a lot because Kamala is a terrible candidate. Let's just be completely honest about that. I went over that in the last video, so I'm not going to waste my time talking about it here, right? But you know, me personally, I don't see myself voting for either one. I don't see myself lowering my own standards and my own dignity to vote for either of these pieces of trash. Okay? So, I mean, you folks can let me know how you feel about it. Let me know if you're even going to waste your time voting tomorrow morning, or if you're just going to stay home, watch cartoons or something like that. You're probably being way more productive doing that, just being honest, right? Because I don't see how this is going to actually help anybody. I'll be glad when it's over. And if Trump wins, the only good side of that is just like they did during the last Trump presidency. All these liberals and these Democrats will be so hyper focused on him that they'll ignore us for a time, right? They'll be fighting so much infighting with white supremacy about who's going to control what, that for a time we'll be able to maneuver a little bit more freely. That was the only good thing I saw about the Trump presidency, really.
Yeah.
You know, but other than that, I really can't see anything good coming out of it. Just like I really don't see anything good coming out of Kamala being the next president either. You know, but we'll see what happens. You guys let me know how you feel about it in the comments section. And this is Mad Blacc, and I will be back with my foot on a devil's back.
Appreciate you, Mad Blacc TV for that. Yeah, I see the don't winning by a landslide too, unfortunately. If you don't know, if you're new here, I'm a third party candidate. I'm supporting third party candidates. So I'm Team Cornell West over here. With the way the electoral college is set up, it's near impossible, not impossible, for a third party candidate to win a presidential race. But we can win state and local seats. So I am an independent candidate on the ballot for Carlos State House District 8, and I have a really good chance of actually winning because people actually know me and actually know the work I've done in the community for over 10 years now. So we will see how that goes. But yeah, as far as the presidential, it's a complete shit show. We ain't getting nothing for neither one of these candidates, Kamala or the dump. So, and the way they have it rigged and set up, it's only for the Democrats and Republicans to win a seat. So, at this point, I see the dump winning by a landslide. But we're going to be going live again with the election results. So, definitely make sure y'all check us out later on today, because it's today now. For that. Now, I was going to touch on this Richard Spencer endorsement that Kamala Harris just received. For those that don't know, alt-right leader Richard Spencer has endorsed Kamala Harris for president. And I don't recall, this dude that did Charlottesville. He was the ringleader behind the Charlottesville shooting and protests that occurred back in 2017 when the dump first got in office, with the little tiki torches and all that. Them people, that was the ringleader behind that. So now all of a sudden he's endorsing Kamala, and Lisa Cabrera is going to give us an update on that.
Old Richard Spencer. Now, this is a name I haven't heard in the last few years. And we remember old alt-right Richard Spencer. And he was a big Trump supporter back during the time he was in office. But I think around the last year Trump was in office, he kind of fell away from Donald Trump because there were things he did not like. And I know one of the big things he did not like, and he did a video, and I actually did a video on him, is when Donald Trump killed that Iranian general.
Yeah.
And remember those millennials and everybody was scrambling and was begging to get off of selective service roles because they were afraid it was going to turn into a war. Richard Spencer was one of those people. And he did a video pretty much cutting Donald Trump off and said he did not support him anymore. Well, he rose out of the abyss to say he is now supporting Kamala Harris. I think the last time I did a video on Richard Spencer, he had announced that he was broke and didn't have any money.
Yep, I remember that.
And he was going on trial for all that mess that happened down there in Charlottesville. And after that, he just kind of dropped off and nobody seen or heard from him again until now. So this is what he's saying. He's singing a whole different tune. He don't sound like the same alt-right dude that he was back in 2018, 2019. You know, he sounds totally different. So Richard Spencer, who had been credited with creating the term alt-right, publicly endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris and Democrats down the ballot in Montana on Friday night. Spencer, one of 14 organizers, ordered to pay millions in a civil trial after organizing the deadly 2017 Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, told his 93,500 followers on X, formerly known as Twitter, "I want you all to know that I am voting for Kamala Harris, and I hope you will too." Given the slightly surprise endorsement, both due to his politics and previous comments about women, Spencer clarified in a phone interview with Newsweek on Saturday morning, "I just want someone who is competent to be in office so that something can happen, as opposed to a demonization of the other side." Okay, so you're calling the Republicans demons now, but wasn't he a hardcore Republican back then? At least that's what I remember.
Yeah, that's what I remember too.
Spencer, who was described by the Southern Poverty Law Center as a suit and tie version of the white supremacists of old, a kind of professional racist in khakis, added that there's a total absence of policy among the GOP, and it's a no party. It's almost so he said, in contrast to how he viewed the Democrats as more competent, able to be reasonable, and wanting to govern the whole country. I don't know what Democratic Party Richard Spencer is talking about, y'all. That don't sound like no Republican Party. I mean, Democratic Party, reasonable? The Democratic Party is reasonable?
Hell no.
And can govern the whole country? I don't know, y'all. Do you think Richard might have been drunk during this interview or something?
He might have been drinking a wine.
With his nasal sounding self. I remember how nasal he would sound. So anyway, this is the garbage he is now saying. So the Democrats govern the whole country. Okay, whatever, Richard. So anyway, Spencer clarified that he is not affiliated with any political party. In an interview with Newsweek on Saturday, he cited the bipartisan border bill that Republicans shot down earlier this year as an example. If you don't want things to get better, then you're sort of evil, he said. Spencer announced his endorsement of Harris in an almost 12-minute video that was posted on X, saying, "This is not some kind of troll or joke. This is a sincere vote." This is what he said. He discussed what voting for a candidate means to him, saying that you have to consider who's best offer stability, safety, continuation, and most likely to be the best manager of the American empire. He continued, "When I put it that way, the choice is very clear. I think Donald Trump and the MAGA Make America Great movement bring nothing but stupidity and chaos." Wow. This Richard Spencer must have bumped his head, because he wasn't talking like this back in 2017 and 2018. This is not it sounds totally different. All right. So they did reach out to the Harris campaign for a reaction by email on Saturday. Spencer previously praised Trump in 2016 in his victory over former U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton with the battle cry. Remember, he said, "Hail Trump, hail our people, hail victory, hail Trump." And we all kind of laughed at that at the time. So anyway, they had Newsweek was asking him why he supported Trump in 2016. He said Trump was sounding really politically incorrect and nationalist notes, and there was this notion that everything was going to change, adding that there was this kind of beauty and chaos. Now he says if we fully implement what the Trump and his allies are talking about, is going to be a catastrophe for everyone. He noted that Trump administration would be very eager to dismantle what he describes as the American empire, which includes military bases abroad, the dollar system, major commitments to the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. He's talking about NATO and more. "I just don't support that," he said, of the dismantling. Spencer only endorsed Trump's first run, and in 2020, he backed then Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden. Biden's campaign manager, Andrew Bates, rejected Spencer's endorsement on Twitter. Actually, I remember that. I remember that. They didn't want no part of him. Reflecting on Biden's presidency, Spencer told Newsweek, "I think Biden was great." What? "But I think he was a pretty good president," citing the CHIPS Act and the idea of Build Back Better. Spencer is a former co-editor of the altright.com and former president of the National Policy Institute. He has repeatedly promoted white supremacist, racist, and misogynist ideology. His endorsement of a woman candidate for president is in contrast to his 2016 comments about Clinton on Twitter, saying at the time women should never be allowed to make foreign policy. It's not that they're weak, to the contrary, their vindictiveness. knows no bound. Yeah, but y'all accuse black men of being misogynist, and what he just said was straight up misogynist. I mean, it was hardcore misogynist. But they're trying to say if black men don't vote for Kamala, they're misogynist, and that's not true.
Right.
That's not true at all. So, in addition, he previously told Newsweek back in 2017, I'm not terribly excited about voting in general. I think the mass democracy is a bit of a joke. To be honest, he added, I don't necessarily think that that's a great thing regarding women voting in U.S. elections. Now he's voting for Kamala. So they were asking him what changed his stance and voting for what could be the first woman president of the United States. And this is what Spencer said. Women on average are as smart as men, if not smarter than men on average. I have confidence in Harris and her administration as competent administrators. That's never really been an issue. In his post on X, he said he was endorsing Harris. This is what he wrote. I'm going to protect women, whether they like it or not. The post is played on Trump's remarks in Wisconsin on Wednesday, which Trump mentioned that his aides had advised him to refrain from using the term protector because it was inappropriate. Spencer, who is a resident of Whitefish, Montana, don't that sound like Whitefish, Montana? Said in a video that he's going to vote straight Democrat. The state, which has a Republican governor, and he's talking about the Montana governor, and a Republican-controlled legislature. So he's voting straight Democrat. Democratic Senator John Tester is running in a contest race for the U.S. Senate seat, with most polls favoring the Republican challenger. All right. So he told Newsweek that Tester and Monica are the real centrists, adding that they're not crazy, woke liberals or something. They're just totally reasonable people. Tranel is running to represent Montana's first congressional district in the U.S. House of Representatives. Spencer said his top issue is Ukraine and continuing U.S. support in its war against Russia.
Oh, hell no.
Well, quite frankly, I don't care about that war.
Right.
Oh, well. Earlier this year, he responded an attack on Harris by right-wing political commentator Tim Pool, who called Harris communazi. What? Okay. So come to put conservatives in concentration camps. That doesn't even make any sense. But then again, when do these people make sense?
Right.
So, boy, he's done a big about face.
Yeah, he has.
You know, first women were not that smart and should stay out of the political game. Now he's there voting for a woman, and he's pretty much a Democrat now. Richard Spencer, of all people, is voting all Democrat. What a difference a day makes. You know, I don't care, but you know what, y'all? We are truly in the final days when somebody like Richard Spencer, who was hardcore right, white supremacist, just what? maybe about what, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and now he is a Republican. The last days are real, y'all. The last days in this country really truly is real. So that's all I wanted to say. I got a good chuckle out of it when I saw it. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I did too.
Republicans must have stole his wife. Actually, he married a Russian woman and they divorced. I think like back in 2018, somewhere around there. He married some woman from Russia. And I think they had about 2 children. And then they divorced. Now, I don't know if she's still in this country or not. She could have went back to Russia. That's probably why he's for Ukraine. He married a Russian woman and they got divorced. So, y'all, I'm not going to keep you any longer. I just thought this was a funny story. And plus, haven't heard about Richard Spencer like forever now. And he has reared his head after being gone for the last quite a few years now. And now he's back.
Wow.
It's to you. Oh, yeah. The Russian woman was a mail order bride. In his case, he probably would need to pay for a bride. Oh, man. All right, y'all, because it is kind of late. So I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. And we'll definitely come together and do this again. Hopefully.
Yes. Thank you, Lisa, for that update. Yeah, I found it hilarious myself. This is the same dude that gave Rolly Martin at work. Rolly Poly Martin. That shit was funny back in like 2016. He said, "Aren't you a black man?" Rolly Poly gonna say, first of all, I'm a man, and then I'm a Christian. And well, aren't you a black man? No, I'm a Christian. And oh god, that shit was hilarious, y'all. It's still on YouTube. If you get time, definitely go back and watch that. That shit was hilarious. It was like 2016. Basically, just type in Roland Martin interviews Richard Spencer. That shit was hilarious, y'all. And then it's the same dude that did Charlottesville shit, and now he done did a whole about face. And now, so this is what Professor Blacc too and Nelly Fuller Jr. is always talking about. They love to take both sides of the argument. So this mother go from the right to the left, and man, these people was crazy. All right, so moving on, we got many of us have lost our many foundational Black Americans since American child slavery freedmen have lost friends and family due to leaving the Democratic plantation. I've been off it for over a decade, so yeah, I can definitely relate to that. Sister Demetria K gonna give us the update on that.
Very devastating since African Americans helped build this country, and now for decades.
This political season has been
helped build it. No, we did build it. There would be no United States without our ancestors' blood, sweat, and toil. All right, so Sister Demetria K is gonna give us an update on us losing some friends and family due to leaving the Democratic plantation.
very draining on everybody, okay? Especially people who left the plantation. Now, I'm talking about the Democratic plantation. I'm talking about those of us who are Black Americans. There are a lot of us who decided to wake up and say, you know what, I'm not going to do that no more. Now, I've told y'all before, I used to be a Democrat. I was considered a lifelong Democrat up until about 2016 or so. I was one of those black people that went hard in the paint for the Democrats. Oh, the Democrats are the party of black people, just that and the other. Then one day I got more information. One day I woke up and I said, oh, word. Okay, then I went digging and I went learning and I was like, I can't be no Democrat no more. Now listen, I'm not a Republican either. I'm an independent, right? I don't want any party to assume they got my vote, right? But there's a lot of us that lost friends, that lost family members and co-workers, and you, whether it's on social media, people have cut you off because you woke up and said, I'm not going to do that no more. Whether you decided to vote for the Republicans, the Green Party, the Couch, Kermit the Frog, whoever it was, right? They were mad at you for exercising what the Democrats say, democracy. Democracy means that you have a say-so, but at the end of the day, you learned that your friends and family didn't really want you to have a say-so. They wanted you to think like them. They wanted you to be on the plantation with them. They didn't want you to run off with Harriet Tubman or Nat Turner. They wanted you to be on the plantation with them, believing that the Democrats were the party of black people. But if you're really a thinking person, you say, well, when you are for something or pro something, then that something does something for you, right? So you say, oh, the Democrats are the party of black people. Are they really? No. What have they done specifically for black people to help black people move the ball over the last 90 plus years? Oh, you said nothing? Because it's true. Now listen, we're talking about specifically, not for everybody else, all and others and POC. Nah, we talking about black people specifically. They have not, right? So there's a lot of people said, I'm not going to do that no more. Mama, daddy, sister, cousin, co-worker, social media friend, I've decided to go do something else. And those people punished you for that. Yep. I've been punished. I know a lot of other people, when I say punished, like what are they really going to do, right? But when I say punished, I mean, they done cut you off. They're not going to speak to you no more. You're not invited to Thanksgiving, Christmas, or any other thing that they would do with you because you don't think like them. So I've had to have this conversation with a lot of people. Were they really your friend? Right. Did they really love you as a family member unconditionally? No, they probably didn't. They loved you as long as you thought like them. And listen, a real friend will be like, you know what? Depending on what it is now, right? But all right, we have a differing of opinions, and that's cool. I love you anyway. But your opinion is not enough for me to cut you off. Your opinion is not enough for me to not invite you to Thanksgiving. Now, listen, we probably ain't gonna talk politics because we don't want, somebody to flip the table over, nothing like that. But I love you anyway. See, a lot of us are finding out that we only had friendships that were conditional. As long as you thought the way I thought, did the things that I did, we were cool. Yep. But when you stop thinking the way I did, oh, I can't mess with you no more. That's what they did to a lot of us, right? Yep. Some of us were very hurt by that. Some of us did a shoulder shrug. I was the latter. But nevertheless, we have learned that they weren't really our friends and they didn't really love us like family members. So to those of y'all, I want to say, I know that hurts, but what's better is that you have woken up and decided not to just go along to get along because they were your friend or they were your family members. Right. You'll be all right. Trust me. So anyway, for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to this channel.
And please subscribe to this channel, Frontline Black News. Yep, I can relate wholeheartedly with that. Oh my God. But it's something about this election cycle was something else. Like, I thought 2020 was bad. This shit now is like, wow. Like, what in the hell? I'll be here the rest of the night going over giving my testimony on this. But basically, I ain't been a Democrat over 10 years. Prior to that, I was a Democrat. Like she said, we were programmed and conditioned to be lifelong Democrats. And you had a stone cold racist white supremacist in the 60s, Lyndon Baines Johnson, signed the Civil Rights Act of 1964 that said he was going to have niggas, by him signing this legislation, They was gonna have niggas voting niggers. He said niggas, not. He said niggers, not nigga. Either way, voting Democrat for the next 200 years. And so far, he's been dead on. Because we've been doing this for 60 years now. It'll be 60 years. 2024 to 1964. Yep, that's exactly 60 years. Voting blue no matter who, voting for the Democrats, the so-called Labor Party, so-called Black Party, and they ain't done nothing specifically for us. They do something for everybody but us. And these damn shills, these damn Democratic shills got the audacity to try to tell us that we need to vote blue, we need to vote for Kamala, we need to do that. No, what we need to do is stay black and die. We ain't gotta do shit y'all talking about. And like she said, what they really gonna do, what they gonna ostracize you, they gonna cut you off. That just comes with the territory. Like you already know, like we went against the grain, there's gonna be consequences for it. So, and we've been, I don't want to say forced to just be Democrats. Like that's just our default party. And they're already belly aching because they're not getting 90% of the black vote. They upset because they only getting 70%. I think it's lower than that. I don't believe none of them polls. Polls don't vote. People vote. And them polls don't reflect that because the sample is so small. You don't know. You really don't know. So, in this election here that's coming today, I don't think we gonna know by tonight. We're not gonna know. It's gonna be another 2000 all over again. Or we gotta wait a couple weeks before we find out who is the new commander in chief of the so-called land of the free, home of the slaves. So that's what we're up against, Black family. Shout out to the Foundation of Black Americans since Mexico's slavery freedmen that have gotten off that damn Democratic plantation. And like she said, don't just run over to the Republicans. That's a plantation in itself over there. But that should become independent and make all these parties work for your vote. So that's what I've been doing for, like I said, over a decade now. Prior to that, I was a Democrat. I worked on Old Sambo's campaign. I think both of them. I worked on both of his campaigns. I wasn't old enough to vote when Kerry and Bush Jr. were running against each other, and then I definitely wasn't old enough to vote when Bush and Gore Jr. and Al Gore, who we got algorithm from, were running. And I definitely wasn't old enough to vote when Clinton and Reagan and Daddy Bush were in office. But my family was very much political, and for the most part, with the exception of my grandfather, we're Democrats. Mama, grandmama, auntie, cousin, everybody, Democrats. So I grew up in that same type of environment, and when I told them, look, I'm no longer a Democrat, I went a Democrat. I was briefly a Republican, like briefly. I'm talking about like less than a year. I was a registered Republican, and after that, I've been an independent ever since. A registered independent, son. And now I got my own party for the last 5 years, independent party known as the Unity Party of Colorado, and I'm the junior chairman of it. That's how that goes on my end. All right, so down to the last few topics. Next topic is about Andre Hill, who got killed by a race soldier up in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio to be exact, around the same time as George Floyd got killed in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So finally, the officer that killed him, the race soldier that killed him, is finally being brought to justice and been found guilty of murder. So it's just Here it is. So I guess their ABC affiliate is going to give us the update.
Adam Coy, the former Columbus police officer accused of the murder and the death of Andre Hill in 2020, has been found guilty. Coy, who is white, shot Hill, an unarmed black man, 4 times in a garage nearly 4 years ago. He told jurors he thought Hill's illuminated cell phone was a silver revolver. Here's part of the verdict that just went down.
As to count 1, we, the jury, being duly empowered and sworn, do find the defendant Adam Coy guilty of murder as he stands charged in count 1 of the indictment, signed this 4th day of November 2024, and what appeared to be 12 signatures.
All right, for more, let's bring in our legal contributor and attorney, Brian Buckmeyer. All right, first of all, let's just start with the verdict. Your thoughts?
Kira, it made sense in many regards. I think this was a case that many people have looked at and said, this isn't a case where there is violence toward the officers. There isn't a case where there's any kind of confusion as to whether or not he was armed. This was a person who I think, according to the facts, was trying to drop off Christmas money to a friend who lived in that neighborhood. And through some confusion between officer and the victim, he was shot and killed. So I think the question of whether or not this was justified seemed to be relatively easy for the jury with a unanimous verdict.
So what happens next?
So next is sentencing. I believe it's on November 25th, where the defendant now faces life without the possibility of parole. There will be some form of a probation officer interviewing him, giving the background that we've typically heard of an officer with a decent or bad record, whatever it may be, and why he should get a lesser sentence than the maximum, where both sides are going to argue for what they believe justice is when it comes to a sentence.
All right, our Brian Buckmeyer. Appreciate it, Brian. Thank you so much.
At Applejack, you'll spot winter lager seekers, fine wine peepers, fancy gifters, and small batch sippers. With over...
All right, so I remember this story real vividly. We were on another platform at the time called Mile High News, but we had covered this, I believe, on that platform as well. This brother getting killed by this race soldier in this garage because he thought that he had a gun. He mistaken a cell phone and keys for a gun, and that just hit real close to home this year with the death of Colin Lewis, whom I went to school with his brother, and that brother was killed with a cell phone in his hand. So in a garage, like a parking garage. So it's like so similar to this case. And that just happened this year, back in May. So yeah, when this went down in 2020 though, there was so much push to get this police commission, accountability commission, which Biden did not follow up on, just like Biden didn't follow up on me with Ice Cube for the contract for Black America. So it's been a long time coming for justice for this case. So I'm glad that piggy, that race soldier, is finally going to be charged with murder, convicted of murder, and go to prison. Just like Shaman's punk ass, and starting to be a long list of them that's going to prison. Great news, great news, great news. So yeah, R.I.P. to the brother that lost his life at the hands of this race soldier, Adam Coy, and you. Family, Andre Hill is finally going to get justice for your unjustifiable murder. There's no justification for that besides racial hatred. This is a black man. Oh, and I feared for my life. It was during that time where these race soldiers was getting away with killing us, talking about, oh, I fear for my life and all of that type of shit. So I said it's been a long time.
Adam Coy, the former
I'm glad it finally happened. Moving along. Next topic is not the dealer yet. No, not the dealer. Oh, MSNBC and CNN hosts shut down after facing election integrity facts. So MSNBC, otherwise known as MSDNC, and CBS hosts shut down after facing election integrity.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me today. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button, because that's the most important thing you do for me on this channel. What it does, that helps a favor by hitting the subscribe button, as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button, so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. And lastly, please make sure you share this video out on your social media platforms to your family and friends, to inform them on this news and information. And yes, that does help to give me a slight boost in the YouTube algorithm as well. And with the introduction of the way, let's get into today's news. And today we have to discuss how hosts of these mainstream media, DNC leaning news stations, how when they're presented with actual hard facts surrounding election integrity and the facts and the reality behind illegal immigrants, or I shouldn't say illegal immigrants, but just non-citizens overall voting in our elections when they shouldn't be, when they're presented with the facts behind this, watch how they completely shut down, malfunction, and just outright dismiss the reality of what we have to deal with in terms of cleaning up the way that voting happens here in the United States. This first clip that I want to play for you here is from Face the Nation. And many of you remember this story. I discussed it last week, of a Chinese national who was in this country on a student visa, going to college in Michigan. He registered to vote and then voted in our election here in the coveted swing state of Michigan. Now, ultimately, he got caught, but the problem is that the vote still counts, because in Michigan, the way that their system is set up, essentially, once you cast the vote is now anonymous. So there's no way to go into the system and find which vote that he directly casted so that it could be removed from the count. Despite the fact that it's a simple, just kind of 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, we know that this one vote was casted illegally, so we're just going to remove one vote from the count. Apparently in Michigan, that's just too much to ask for. So the vote will count regardless. But watch how Margaret Brennan on Face the Nation outright dismisses this point and goes into a fake kind of law and order rant about how he's still going to be punished anyway, when that's besides the point now. It doesn't matter anymore because the vote still counts.
Look, in the state of Michigan, we know now, and this is not me making it up, I can't believe it hasn't received more coverage, a Chinese national registered to vote and voted. And now he's being charged for doing that, but guess what? His ballot's going to count. We know at least one non-citizen's ballot is going to count in Michigan because they don't know which ballot is and they can't retrieve it. These are facts. Right. Now, whether that's widespread or not, I hope not, but these are things that are happening and they need to be watched at. As far as foreign adversaries, sure. I mean, Iran wants to kill Donald Trump. Iran, this has been fully documented. They are trying to kill Donald Trump. You talk about violent rhetoric. He's the only candidate in this race, and not because I wish this on anybody else, who's had not one but two assassination attempts against his life.
Right.
So of course we're all concerned about it.
Right. In terms of the case you talked about in Michigan, we have tracked that. The Secretary of State of that state has actually brought charges, has made that public. That individual may actually be deported. May actually be deported because there are laws in this country that punish people when they are illegal and they try to vote in federal elections. That 19-year-old is going to face some consequences.
He is, and he's going to, but his vote still counts. His vote will still be counted.
Understood.
She can't even acknowledge the fact that his vote is still going to count. Because these people are all unofficially on the payroll of the DNC. Unofficially, that is. They are all unofficially on the payroll of the DNC. And we all understand that these folks are the propaganda wing of the DNC. Right? So she can't acknowledge the fact that the vote is still going to count, but now wants to go into this fake kind of law and order talking point in which, well, he may possibly be deported. He may be deported. He may. Okay, that's interesting. But he may be deported, and there are laws against this, and he will be punished, and charges have been filed against him. But that's irrelevant now. I don't want to hear any of that coming from Margaret Brennan now, because at that point, particularly in Michigan, we're past that now. You saying that is irrelevant now because the vote already counts. And she won't acknowledge the fact that the vote already counts. And it's going to go towards whoever it is that he decided to vote for in this year's election. But she cannot acknowledge it, and she will not acknowledge it because her paymasters won't allow her. I'm going to shift over to a man by the name of Jonathan Capehart. Many of you are familiar with him. I'll pull him up on the screen right now. Jonathan Capehart, he is, I believe, an associate editor at the Washington Post, which is where this video comes from. But he is also the host of this Saturday, or I believe the show is called The Saturday Sunday Show with Jonathan Capehart on MSNBC. This is a show that people like Maxine Waters and Jasmine Crockett frequently visit that show to kind of push their kind of DNC nonsense, right? But while he was live with the Washington Post, I want you to see how he reacted to, once again, facts concerning voter integrity in Pennsylvania. I want you to look at the way this man completely shut down and dismissed the reality behind our concerns in regards to this stuff. Listen to this here, and then we'll get back into the discussion.
For contesting the election by complaining.
Give me just a second. I'll rewind it back just a little bit, and let's go.
Is it me, or does it seem like this week Donald Trump is laying the groundwork for contesting the election by complaining that cheating was taking place in Pennsylvania by suing Bucks County for alleged irregularities? And this is on top of his continual assertion that if he loses, it's because of cheating.
Yeah, that's what he's been laying the groundwork for this, just not in the last week, but in the last umpty-ump months. No election can be fair unless in Donald Trump's mind, unless Donald Trump wins it. And I think we are going to see him both rev up his supporters to contest elections outside of courtrooms and go to every courtroom he can in America where it's relevant to make whatever arguments he can, no matter how far-fetched. We saw
Jonathan,
that
I've
worked
got
out last time, but it didn't work out this time. It may not work. That may not happen this time. And now I'll let you go, Hugh.
Well, I've just got to say, we're news people, even though we're at the opinion section. It's got to be reported. Bucks County was reversed by the court and instructed to open up extra days because they violated the law and told people to go home. So that lawsuit was brought by the Republican National Committee, and it was successful. The Supreme Court ruled that Glenn Youngkin was successful. We are news people, even though we have opinions, and we have to report the whole story if we bring up part of the story. So yes, he's upset about Bucks County, but he was right, and he won in court. That's the story.
I'll let you keep going, Jonathan.
No, I don't appreciate being lectured about reporting when many times you come here saying lots of things that aren't.
I won't come back, Jonathan. I'm done. I'm done. This is the most unfair election ad I have ever been a part of. You guys are working. That's fine. I'm done.
This man quit live on air because he couldn't take the dishonesty anymore. This man, Jonathan, started going into victim mode. I don't appreciate, you lecturing me. He didn't lecture you. He presented you with the facts. And when presented with the facts, let's watch that again. They were both presented with facts, and it was quiet. It was silent. Nobody knew what to say.
That's the story.
I'll let you keep going, Jonathan.
This is completely ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And I want you to see, as it pertains to Bucks County, look at this here. Let's look at this here, and let's look at what Mr. Jonathan here is completely outright dismissing. Let's view this. I'm not going to read the whole article, but I'm just going to give you the headline in the first paragraph.
Students suffer when classroom resources are cut. That's why Amendment 80 is such a bad idea.
2024 election, Bucks County residents take advantage of extended on-demand early vote process. Well, why is this and how did this come about? Millions of votes have already been cast as the 2024 election draws near, and the extended judge-ordered on-demand voting in Bucks County deadline has been reached. Extended after a judge sided with a GOP lawsuit claiming officials turned away voters due to extra long lines. Do you hear what I'm saying? In Bucks County, voters were turned away because of extra long lines. Donald Trump and his team had to sue and win in order for an extra day of early voting to be added so that these people who were turned away because of extra long lines so they can be able to cast their vote. How ridiculous and absurd is this? But if you let Mr. Jonathan tell it here, this is all conspiracy theory nonsense we're talking about. This is all foolishness that doesn't deserve any airtime. He speaks on this as if Donald Trump is a madman who's losing his mind filing frivolous lawsuits. Yet he's winning the lawsuits on the grounds that this voter integrity concerns are real and that you're seeing people get turned away because of extra long lines. People who came to vote are being turned away because of extra long lines. Yet, once again, folks like you and me are told that we're the ones who are crazy and that are conspiracy theorists pushing nonsense. Yet, when they're presented with the facts of what's happening here, these folks completely shut down and have nothing to say. So we'll see how things pan out moving forward, starting tomorrow when the election officially takes place as far as election day is technically concerned. Hopefully there won't be too much of a negative impact concerning all types of voter interference and shenanigans, but we'll just have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see when the results come in. And with all that being said, that does it for today's news. So I want to thank you all for joining me.
Thank you, Chris, for that update to the media group. What was I gonna say? You see that shit? Oh, the anchor completely quit right on stage because he was sick of the bullshit. Like, if y'all gonna report the news, don't just report one half of it or one side of it. Report the whole thing. But this is how these propaganda media, white-owned media networks work. Like the Washington Post, that was very prominent paper. Everything's went digital now, so now they're online spewing their propaganda. And I'm glad he called that shit out. Like, no, man. He said we're supposed to be unbiased, but y'all sitting up here reporting the news from a very biased perspective. So I see, gotta give him some credit, some kudos for that. It's like, how much longer you gonna allow them to spew this bull crap? And then you question it. Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. Oh, you're one of those QAnon people. Like, no, somebody has some freaking common sense, and I know that you're lying straight to us. So, okay, so we had that go on, and here in Colorado, we had the Libertarians sue our Secretary of State. I played the video earlier by mistake, but I'm gonna play it again. So Glenn Griswold, who's part of the Blue Mafia, that's what we call them, Democrats, Colorado Dems. She is being sued over a leak of voter equipment passwords. Now we covered the leak, but the update is she's being sued by the Libertarians, which are basically Republicans that like to smoke weed. So they're suing her in regards to this, and it's the same woman that allowed mail-in ballots to be sent to 30,000 illegal immigrants in 2022.
So this password leak raises fair questions about the competence of Secretary Griswold's team and how our elections are secured. It's also been seized on by conspiracy theorists who have pushed claims without evidence for years. The Libertarian Party of Colorado has filed a lawsuit asking for a hand count of ballots. Politics guy Marshall Zellinger was in the courtroom today where a well-known election denier claimed to be the person who found the leaked passwords.
Yeah, that was news in this lawsuit in the courtroom that we just ended for this afternoon. I don't know why I can't talk all of a sudden. We've been in this courtroom for 4 hours. Sean Smith is the guy's name who took the stand to say he was the person who found this spreadsheet on the Secretary of State's website and was notified by John Case, the attorney for Tina Peters. Follow me here. He said, Sean Smith said he had this database, didn't know that it had these hidden tabs until sometime in October, though there was this written affidavit that said he thought he had it in August. There's some confusing timelines here between what's in paper and what was here in the courtroom. We're in court because the Libertarian Party wants more than half of Colorado counties to have to hand count their ballots. There was a slight protest outside the city and county building before we came in for this afternoon court hearing. What we heard from the Secretary of State's office is that there was no security breach and that there was no proof that anything happened, even though these passwords were accessible on this hidden tab online for a few months. On the Libertarian Party side, they said just the appearance that these passwords were out there and could have led to something is reason enough to do hand counts. And then Sean Smith, the election denier, who said that he had access to this spreadsheet, is someone we heard from a couple of years ago at a rally at a church in Castle Rock. He mentioned this on the stand, that what he said about the Secretary of State that you're about to hear was simply him talking about due process.
You know, if you involved in election fraud, then you deserve to hang. Sometimes the old ways are the best ways. I was accused of endorsing violence. I'm not endorsing violence. I'm saying when you put your hand on a hot stove, you get burned.
While on the stand in this courtroom here, he mentioned that he has not really said that the Secretary of State should be hanged for election fraud. Again, that he's just talking about due process. Kyle, this just ended about 5:52 or so. The judge is going to take what she heard in person, take these filings, and then come up with a ruling, we assume sometime tomorrow, to decide if 34 counties that had active passwords to their voting machines, if these 34 county clerks would need to actually count their ballots by hand to appease the arguments made by the Libertarian Party.
Did you hear anything in court from the judge that indicated whether the judge was predisposed to issue such a sweeping ruling that, I mean, it would upend Colorado's elections? I mean, we'd probably wait weeks.
I mean, just at the end when she was kind of giving a summary and talking about the late hour of this, that might lead to believe that that's not going to be the case about hand counting. Plus, the Secretary of State's office has argued that you can always, as we heard from the governor, if someone wants a recount or there's a system in place at the end of an election where you run some ballots through to make sure that the ballots match the computer, that's the process that's in place to actually do essentially what the Libertarian Party is asking.
All right, Marshall Zellinger, thank you.
Now you see how they started that shit. Well,
it is.
Oh no, conspiracy theories. Well, I was just talking about that shit, and that's exactly how they started it off. That is a red flag, though. Like, people really shouldn't have access to those passwords. Like, unless you're like authorized personnel, you really shouldn't have access to them passwords at all. But that's what the Colorado Dems are allowing. And they thought they was just gonna keep getting away with it. So, shout out to the Libertarians for pointing that mess out. And actually, soon I'm trying to see if there's an update on what the ruling was on this. Let's see if I can find it. But while we stalling or waiting, what's your thoughts on this current selection? Did y'all go out and vote? Did you vote for the couch? Did you vote third party? Like, what did y'all do? Or what are y'all planning on doing? Rather, today's the last day. Let's see. Okay, that's the one I just played. No update. So they didn't make the ruling yesterday. They must have put it off. They're probably gonna put it off till after the election. They're not gonna have the ruling today. Or we could possibly. I don't know. But they haven't done an update yet in regards to that. But yeah, there's a lot of question about this election interference and all of that. And these mouths have been coming out to explain. Like Brenna Griswold was out there explaining a couple days ago. And then our clerk and recorder, Paul Lopez, he's always explaining. Yeah, I'm still on, Lady J. He's steady explaining. I don't trust nothing that dude says. I treat him like the police every time he opens his mouth. I know he's lying. That's how I feel about it. Well, you see how they're so quick to dismiss you if you question the integrity of the election? Oh, you're an election denier and all that dumb shit. Like, no, I just don't believe what you're telling me. I just don't. The last topic of the night is jail where Diddy is housed gets a surprise visit due to inhumane conditions.
This is cannabis and mushroom candy. You ever try?
Oh, shoot! Let me try that! It smells good.
It's nice, right?
The Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, where Sean P. Diddy Combs is being held on sex trafficking and racketeering, has gotten, let's say, ran up in, for lack of better words, by interagency sweep that was headed by the Department of Justice and the Prison Bureau because of a lot of accusations of people being harmed in there, the food being inadequate, and just the living conditions are horrible, right? And so they went and did, I guess, an unannounced investigation. Now, it is said that recently a correctional officer was shooting at a car outside of the facility that was unauthorized. It also said that people like R. Kelly, who was housed there, is suing because he was put on suicide watch in 2022 when he was not suicidal. Sounds like, those conditions are a lot worse than the regular conditions. Sam Bankman-Fried, who was found guilty of taking investors' money through his FTX scheme, if you will. It said that because he is vegan, he had to survive for a long time on bread, peanut butter, and water because the prison does not provide vegan food. And of course, at another one of their facilities is where Jeffrey Epstein was, and allegedly he took his own life. So they said they're going in there to see how they can make things better. Although they said that's not the first time that they heard that conditions were bad there. Well, my thing is this. It took for P. Diddy to go in there allegedly, right? Now, because they're saying it has nothing to do with it, but I'm thinking, that's not the case. It took for him to go be housed there for them to really go in there and try to make some changes, because there's other people who aren't celebrities that have to endure horrible conditions, not even just in Manhattan, right? Or Brooklyn, but all over the country where prisons living conditions are horrible, where there's no not electricity, but air conditioning, heat, running water, there's mold, there's rats, there's roaches, it's just a lot, right? But now they're going to take it seriously, and I think that they should, because even though inmates are locked up, that doesn't mean that they should have to live in, lackluster conditions unless, they've done some horrible things and they can live wherever they want. They can live at the bottom of the earth as far as I'm concerned. But for people who are awaiting trial and have not been found guilty yet, or people who are in there over, low level offenses or when nobody was harmed or something like that, yeah, they need to get it together and at least make sure that the conditions are livable. Now, of course, you talk about somebody like P. Diddy or R. Kelly or Sam Bankman-Fried. Yeah, they're used to living, in very nice accommodations, but that ain't what prison is, right? But you should at least be able to look at the food or to eat the food and, have some air conditioning or heat or whatever the case is. But yeah, about time they're doing something about that. But don't just stop with that one in Brooklyn. Go all over the country and make sure the people that are running these prisons are held accountable for the horrible things that they do to inmates and the blind eyes that they turn when injustices are taking place in those facilities. So anyway, y'all tell me what you think of that. And for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to this.
I agree wholeheartedly, Dimitri. Okay. Remember when the K-High was running around talking about Donald Trump's a convicted felon. He got 34 counts. He going to prison. We would joke around and be like, hey, whatever prison he's going to, their living conditions going to improve drastically. So I thought that was funny. It reminded me of that when she brought this up about the dealer being in this facility, and all of a sudden now the conditions want to change, update the conditions and living conditions in there. All of a sudden, it's funny how that happens, right? So, and then there's like that the dude that was scamming people out their money, like millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, the insider trader dude. He's up in there now. So now they really want to improve the conditions up in there. It's just real funny how that happens. So I was like, whatever prison, whatever facility they put the dump in, their conditions going to improve drastically. And there's Lady J.
Yeah, man. Sorry about that.
Grand Rising, Lady J. I just finished up with the last topic, and that was the dealer where he's been housed. Now they want to update the living conditions in the facility. They want to make it more humane. And I was just joking about how when the K-High was crashing out the tunnels, the biting nights were crashing out saying, oh, the dump, he's going to prison for 34 counts, blah, 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 blah. And we would joke around. Remember when they would bring that up and we're like, well, whatever prison they put them in, their conditions going to improve drastically. They're going to redo that whole prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that had reminded me of.
Sorry, late, everybody. Got things going on, I guess. It's cold as fuck outside.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely starting to feel like fall and winter around here. It's November now, so it's right on schedule. That's election day, Lady Chair. Aren't you excited?
No, because I would have been excited if we were throwing a party, but you didn't, I guess it's our like tradition, I guess, but we've been together every election.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know how this one's gonna work out though. I'm probably gonna go crash a little Democratic watch party.
Oh, you're talking about that one that tracks? Oh my God, we definitely gonna go to jail. How we gonna do that and live stream the results?
I don't know how you're gonna do that. I'm gonna go crash a watch party. I don't think it'll be streaming nothing. I'm probably gonna go to 5 Points and crash the party.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. It's not warming up tomorrow. It's still gonna be cold. I got my power in.
I don't know. I don't know how I stream that. Like, That was a big question. But am I excited? I've seen a new ballot. I got a question. Like, can I get it at my polling place or what?
Yeah, you have to go to your polling place in Aurora or in Adams County because you're in Adams County. I don't know off the top of my head where that is in Adams County.
Mine is right at the library, Jesse.
No, that's not yours.
That's my polling place, Jesse. It's right down the street.
Not a polling place. That's a box. Where you go? That's not where you go to get a new ballot. Not for Adams County.
That's my look. I'll look it up. All the ATMs around my neighborhood are just like broken or something. Something's not right. They're not right.
Yeah, it's been like that for a couple months now.
Motherfucker hungry.
Yeah, she lives in a serious food desert, y'all. It's really bad.
Everything's closed. Everything's
Yours. All right, well, you're fashionably late. I covered a myriad of topics.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was busy. So I'm sorry. Yeah. So go ahead, carry on, because yeah, I didn't catch it, and I couldn't end your show yesterday. You fell asleep in it.
Yeah, I think I fell asleep briefly in this one. We got the library. I see it shows up, but I don't know if it's where you can go to get your ballot though. You got the rec center on Havana. I think you're gonna have to go to Auschwitz.
What?
Polling locations.
Oh, just I'll look it up, man. Don't worry about it. Carry on. That's if that's if I don't know. The my ballot is different from your ballot, and my ballot is not. I don't know. It doesn't answer a lot of questions.
Yeah, she's like missing 2 pages or something. She got hers and just tossed it anywhere. Yeah, I think you gotta go here. It says request hit the voter service. Just a couple, man. What is the purple, man?
All right. So what's the next topic?
There is no more topics.
Yeah,
this is the last topic.
I thought you had one more.
No, you got the very end of the show. Like I just finished up with the last topic.
Oh, did you talk about Colorado and their voting stuff too?
Yes.
All right then. All right then. And I'm gonna do an RVA, maybe, possibly. Here.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I missed it, family. I was somewhere else. Then it was disgruntled. For a minute. So I apologize. Then I had to leave. Like I said, try to find every ATM in this motherfucker is like broken, or they close early, or there's all kind of motherfucking riffraff around it, or whatever. It's all kind of shit. So I was like, oh man, it's trying to get something to eat.
Yeah.
It's been a difficulty, it seems like.
You have to come out there to do that. You have to go to Chase or something.
Huh?
You're gonna have to hit the Chase ATM up.
Yeah.
By my house.
No. That's over there by you. That's all the way over there. I live over here.
I know.
Why would I go all the way over there?
In a food and ATM desert, apparently.
That's just weird. Why would I go all the way over there? Crazy. Yeah, I'm sorry I missed it. I don't trust the elections. The division over here. That's me personally. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go crash to a little party tomorrow. You know they're gonna have a little watch party. I'll crash that for a minute, then I'll be back. Look for the chat. It looked like Shabaka was giving everybody business. So that's what the chat looks like.
Yeah, on the show earlier, yeah, we had some Sambo Rambo Negro calling.
Who's all on there?
Let's see, who was it? Off the top of my head. Oh, Anaya called in. Sister called in. Sarge called in. And this Sambo Rambo Negro named Blues called in. We had Mac and Twin in the chat. And I exposed this dude as a damn Caribbean tether. Damn agent, like, who sent you? Like, you straight up police type of dude. Like, he reminded me of like a baby Sarge. Things like that.
Who did he want to win?
Who did he want to win?
Yeah.
I don't even think we asked him who he wanted to win. It just went like a whole complete direction. It went left real quick. In no political sense. It just went left. We both ended up picking this dude off.
Yeah. Well, I wonder what he had is what he said that was so detrimental.
Well, when he said it, why I gotta read the autobiography of Malcolm X, that was it for Shabaka.
Ooh.
And then when he said, why are you on here and you're broke, that was it for me.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
What made him think you're broke?
Because he asked me, he said, are you rich? I said, nope. Right now I'm broke as the 10 Commandments.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Shabaka was trying to give him game, give him knowledge, give him history, and he was not trying to hear none of that. He was just like, I'm gonna get mine, y'all get yours, blah blah blah, like one of them types. And then I like asked the dude where he was from, and he was like, I'm from Indianapolis. I'm like, you're from Naptown? Like, where are your people from? Like, you don't sound like no damn. It don't sound like you of the lineage at all. Like, the dude was sounding like the male version of Candace Owens. Like,
yeah.
So I was like, you must be a Caribbean tether or something. You Caribbean or African tether, the way you talking. Like, remember that video I played of that tether that was like, I ain't come here to build with y'all. I just came here to take.
Yeah.
He had that kind of mentality.
Damn.
And he wasn't trying to hear nothing Shabaka was saying. And then I thought Sarge and Anaya was going to have World War III right on the air. They were going at it. Then Shabaka got involved. It was crazy. Yeah, you definitely want to listen to a playback. That shit was crazy. What in the hell are these motherfuckers doing? And then, you know, it's never a dull moment here. It's always some shit cracking off over here. So far, knock on wood, no damn fire alarm.
Yeah. Yeah, tomorrow's well, today, I don't know, it's a few hours away. Are you excited?
Yeah.
I'm excited for it to be over. At least the presidential part.
Yes, presidential pardon.
Everything else, I don't know. I kind of feel, I don't know. I don't like the way, that everything feels dominated by Democrats. That's all. I don't like that. I don't like the way the third party's been. The third party never gets no play. I don't like how nobody really listens to third party shit. Third party people, yet they want to talk shit. I don't like a lot. I don't like it. So, I'm hoping. We'll see. I hope. I don't want to say I hope. Let's see where the cards land. Let's see where the chips fall. Either way, I think that if the if Kamala Harris wins, I think it's either way it's all bad. But it's definitely 4 more years of benign neglect. If not worse. That's my thing.
Okay, well, I stand corrected. I just looked it up. So apparently you can get a new or replacement ballot at the location you was planning on going to initially.
I told you I'll take care of it. Thank you. Okay, so sorry I came so late. I apologize. Man, sorry about that. This is it. I was trying to get there earlier because I was dealing with something. I don't want to talk about it really because it was messy. I don't want to talk about it because it was messy. I felt like I held my own though. Just felt like it anyway. Whew. All right then. I guess when you end the show, I'll holler at you real quick. This. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's already at the end. I think everybody. I gotta catch up. I lost the mouse for like a good 12 hours.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I finally found it though.
Okay.
I'll be honest, this motherfucking suitcase. I couldn't find it. It was like, oh my god, I was really looking for it. Wore me the fuck out. There's like literally everything I do is like taking every ounce of energy I got. So, man, it wore me out. But then, yeah, it's been a long motherfucking day. So, I guess I don't, whatever how you're gonna end it or whatever you're gonna do. I'll probably throw up an RVA or something.
All right. Well, if y'all are still up, make sure y'all after I end this go over to the RBA and check out Lady Cherry and what she's gonna be discussing over there. I'm definitely about to go lay it down. I'm gonna try to get my booty to the pole before it gets too late, because I know that line is gonna be all the way around the block.
Don't you just gotta drop your ballot?
Yeah, but that line just to drop the ballot is gonna be around the freaking block.
The box is right in front.
Okay, well, we'll see, Lady Shay.
Where you gotta go?
I gotta go to Hiawatha, and 35th is completely blocked off.
Oh yeah, you probably should go early. We probably should go early.
Exactly. So, thank y'all for tuning in to season 4, episode 32, Trey Deuce, part 3 or part Trey of the Frontline Black News. We will be back tomorrow with a special edition for just in time this election. So make sure you check that out. In the meantime, make sure y'all like and subscribe to all of our platforms. Frontline Black News on YouTube and Facebook. The Revolutionary Agenda on YouTube and Facebook. And of course, Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced on Facebook and Twitter, now X.com.
Yeah, stay black, stay dangerous.
That's right. So peace, love, light, reparations and separations, and Black empowerment. Chain Krummer, Jesse LaShawn Paris, for Carl State House of Representatives for the House District 8, signing out from the Mile High Income and Illegal Migrant Flooded City. Make sure y'all, if you do go out and vote for something tangible.
Yep.
Otherwise, don't even bother.
Yeah, there's the couch. Yeah. All right, Jesse. Hold on. Like after you end it, I'll just stay on for a second.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Peace.